Oh. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Wrasslin for Life Network. Better late than never, folks, is what I always say. But I hope everyone out there having a great day. You weren't waiting too long for us. You're happy to see us. We are back at it, our weekly podcast. That's right. Let's Rumble, where, you know, myself and the boys, we get into a little discussion about the hot topics. We'll give you some updates, some news, some predictions. We got a whole lot to unpack. I know the boys are itching to get some of this shit off their chest. Tune in. It's going to be a hell of a ride, folks. Let's go. Boom. And we are ready to go. Our live. That's right, folks. We are live. If you're hearing this after the fact, this is a live broadcast out to YouTube. We got the chat going. We'll answer some questions. I know our boy CJ is going to be in the chat a little bit because, as you can see, things are a little dicey in his neck right now. So
I just may be here and I just may not be here. That's the problem.
There you go. He's kind of here. He's here in
The
spirit.
bandwagon has turned into Noah's Ark.
Right. But it's been another crazy week in wrestling. It doesn't stop, folks. The news just keeps pouring out. We got news from every company. We got rumors. We got scandals. We got drama. And yeah, so if you don't know, I am Every Night KJ White, doing it right. I am the Iron Man of YouTube. And I'm joined by the Baron of Banter, the Master of Mischief, the Poker of People, Mr. Big.
Pause on that.
I always throw
You
in
don't
one.
get me caught up, but I was caught up.
And of course, we also have the man, the myth, the legend, the technically tortured
Aquaman.
the Aquaman himself. Mr. CJ Brand is here in the chat and kind of here. CJ? Oh, great. He's John Moxley.
Yeah.
This some bullshit.
You sound good.
Yeah, but I gotta be kissing my microphone.
No, you don't sound good. I lied. You sound like an old Eric Frampton CD.
It's all good. Dude. It's all
Little
good.
Wart record.
Right? You know, that's the thing about technology. It's hard to deal with. But folks, let's get into some of this wrestling. I know we're sidetracked with some jokes. Nick, how are you, by the way? I know we've been talking about.
I'm great. You know, it's been another hell of an interesting weekend.
Fucking chaos.
Yeah. Well, it's ever since I think the end of last week, it's just been one like historic thing happening after another.
Right? It's crazy. We're like, well, this is historic. Holy shit. So is that.
Can we just all can the professional wrestling world just calm down for a minute? I would like a little bit of a break of like a day.
No, fuck that shit. Let's go.
Major breaking or, you know, some controversy coming out.
No, fuck that. That's what we do, buddy. No. It's funny though, to your point though, like, dude, take a breath. Like, give us a Mississippi between a couple of these stories, right?
Right.
Like, simultaneously covering nonstop shit. And I mean, it's good for business. It's good for us as people who like to come on here and talk about wrestling. It's good to be us. It's been like Christmas has come early. It's nice.
Oh yeah, we have plenty of stuff to talk about. Christ, that's why CJ's trying to brave, you know, Spectrum and a storm just to come on and talk because he's got so much he wants to talk about.
Listen, I'm Canadian, but fuck you, Spectrum, because you're fucking up my podcast. CJ, are you there?
I'm here, but not really here. It's so fucked up. I got so much news and so much stuff that I want to talk about, but I can't say a damn thing.
Dude, you sound like you're in outer space, bro. But that being said, on that very good point by Mr. CJ, whatever it might have been, quickly take a look at the chat. Hassan is here. He says, hi there. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being back again. Well, that was me playing around. What's up, Scott? Welcome back. How are you doing tonight? CJ with some love. Another poop night to Spectrum and their chronicles. Can you guys like in Canada, we have like a better business bureau where you can like take shitty businesses to like
Yes, we have it. That shit doesn't work.
Okay. Because
not with major companies.
Yeah, I guess, right? You know, here's a $5,000 fine. Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. Boss Monster, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us again. There we go. We're catching up. CJ sounds like he's in another time zone.
Fuck off.
But we will endure.
Man, right? I'm a boss. I am boss. There you go. You are in a different time zone right now. Tribal Chief, welcome back. Good to see you. What's up, KJ, Nick, and CJ? Sorry that I wasn't there the last 2 days. I've been super busy. You don't need to be sorry, sir. We do not mind that people out there do stuff. No, that's perfectly acceptable. Just remember, we record these, we put them out, so you get them anytime. But yeah, you don't have to be sorry for not being here. We got you.
Well, we're on here enough that, you know, where it's going to happen at times to where you miss one or two. That's why you got to, you know, make sure you subscribe, you know, hit the bell notification. So you at least get that little reminder when we're on and everything.
The bottom of a well. Son of a bitch. What's up, Scott? I'm doing fantastic. There you go. I'm happy to hear that you are doing fantastic. I guess that's to each other. Uh-oh. I think we're working on plan B, folks. Stay tuned. Yeah. All right. So that kind of catches up on the chat. I mean, let's be real, folks. And if you guys have never been to or listened to Let's Rumble, this is our weekly podcast. For those who are Impact fans, we do kind of take a peek at it when it comes on, but we don't dive hard into it. And that's just simply a numbers game right now. But if you haven't been here before, we take the news, we take the previous events, matches, nights, shows. We discuss it all. We have you guys in the chat to chat along about what's up. And we'll literally go toe-to-toe on the things that matter to us or the things that, you know, we really don't agree on. So don't be afraid to let us know your opinion as we go through this tonight. But yeah, you got me, Nick, and it's like 2.5 men.
Well, it's like a live call-in debate show.
Sorry, what? Sorry, I cut you off, Nick. What you got there?
No, I just said it's like a live call-in debate show.
Right, exactly. So with that being said, folks, we are going to get rolling. And obviously, I think everyone can agree. Like, I mean, there's no really bigger news that that's happened since last time we were here was, Vince McMahon is retired. But the question becomes, what does it mean further? And what else is coming in this? So let's start with the fact that day we saw him skip down the stairs. It really was him skipping to my loo, right? Like he was done.
Yeah, that is the last time you will see Vince McMahon on WWE television. That to me is not a prediction; it's a spoiler, because of all the investigations and everything that's come out. Like it's even been the whole situation with the SEC conducting federal investigations on these hush money NDA payments that kind of forced his hand to retire, because this seemed very out of the blue. Like this is something we never thought would actually happen, or that we would be still, coherent enough to react to it. Of Vince McMahon has actually retired from WWE.
Well,
what's the man going to do? He does nothing but professional wrestling,
right? He lived it, breathed it. It's crazy. It was his everything, right? And then it's his precious. Now, some have speculated or surmised, just because he said that doesn't mean he's going anywhere. I'm struggling to believe that this time.
Oh, yeah, no. I think you're starting to see all of his boys and everything get picked off one by one. Like, I'm sure Bruce is shaking in his boots after getting, demoted from head of creative. And Kevin Dunn has got to be damn near almost wetting himself, waiting for the Grim Reaper to show up at his door and just say, thank you, your services are no longer needed.
Your time here is done, sir.
Yeah,
We
Bucky the Beaver's
apologize.
getting put out to pasture.
Yeah, it feels eerily close. And I mean, you really think that somebody like Dunn and somebody like Bruce, I mean, not instantly, they're, you got to do what you got to do. But you almost feel like at some point, they're almost going to tip their ass towards the door anyway. All their friends are gone.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of are in a way. Because like I said, I feel like they hear the footsteps creeping up behind them because this very much is a whole new era in WWE. We have Triple H in charge of creative and talent relations. We just I saw some of the footage and everything recently from
that tryout has been cool.
Yeah, and and also notice who's with him. Paul Heyman.
Yes.
There's been a whole lot of speculation that he's going to be involved with creative as well. So that's why I think if those two are wielding creative, Kevin Dunn with his 80 million camera cuts are out. And then we have the co-CEO, for the first time ever, co-CEO of WWE, Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon, who Stephanie's already come out and said she wants to focus more on the women's division. She wants to restore that. So I think this is very much a line of demarcation. This is a historic change of, direction in WWE's history.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what it feels like. It really does. And you've seen subtle changes. And now, like, for the first time in a long time, and it by no fault of their own, oddly enough, there's a ton of buzz around this company. People like, we watched it. We've been on these live streams through, Money in the Bank, through, Mania was a bit of an exception, but through Rumble, through any of the pay-per-views we ran through this year alone, where there wasn't really a whole lot of like, oh, I can't wait. There wasn't a whole lot of like, this is going to be the best shit ever. And now it's like, if nothing else, there's optimism. The fan base is almost dying to hear, to see surprises and see changes and see what could happen. But for me, I mean, that is a lot of pressure that comes with that too.
Oh yeah, it's been little breadcrumb all the way along because you had Vince, is under investigation and with his allegations and is stepping down, and then Stephanie is taking over that spot. Then you have Hunter comes back as head of talent relations, and then it moves to Hunter's head of creative as well, and then Vince retires. So like I've been saying this all along, to me it feels very Game of Thronesy, very chess pieces on a chessboard, to where Hunter finally just got checkmate. Of Vince has now gone the hell away, and this is going to be pretty much. I feel like this is going to end up honestly like NXT 2 or NXT Black and Gold, just on the main roster.
Yeah, I mean, at least in the type of matches we're going to get, and at least the type of competition we're looking at getting. For me, I think that's highly a possibility, and I'm excited about it. Like you said, it really is reason to think that, and maybe we will get matches that we would have never got before. Maybe we get a, Ricochet with a push. Maybe we get, a KO title run that matters and means something. Maybe we do get Bray Wyatt back. Sasha, Naomi. I know our boy CJ wanted to talk about Sasha and Naomi tonight, but they're open to listening.
Yeah, that's something I was going to bring up, is that you even have now people from AEW that it's come out that they are viewing WWE as a decent alternative if their contract isn't renewed, if Tony stops texting them, what be it, to where they're out of AEW, that they could go to WWE. And a lot of guys that have left there have even said, I don't think I would have been released if Hunter was in charge of creative.
Oh, no, and there's guys that are 100% without a doubt, Nick. It's not even a maybe. Guys that, we knew that, they were close, like Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, even Mia, T-Bar.
Adam Cole would have re-signed if Triple H was in charge of creative.
What's that?
I said Adam Cole would have re-signed if Triple H was in charge of creative.
Cesaro might have stuck around. Might have. I don't know.
Maybe.
But there is definitely example after example of people and athletes You know, with Vince and Bruce and everybody in place, there's no way you were getting some of these names back on your roster. And again, everybody saw gimmicks and careers just fucking die. And they were being served fucking softballs. Just fucking lob balls all day. Here you go. Next one, clack. And you think you'd hit something out of the park. Nope. Foul, strikeout. What the fuck?
Yeah, not even foul, just whiff.
Whiff. Yeah, like, do you want the fucking ball on a tee? Like, what are we doing here? And the wins were few and far between for quite a while for the WWE. And I think that's why there's such a groundswell right now. And that's where these athletes or the wrestlers, imagine if you are AEW originals, guys that were never in the WWE. And in the next year and a half, Triple H proves his worth. Because I think Triple H, if he's the guy I perceive him as, this is going to be an absolute burr in his saddle. He's going to want to show the world what he can do. So,
absolutely. He's already been coming out of the gate firing with like even those recruiting visits.
Yeah. And it's good. It was amazing to see those recruiting videos and those like Triple H talking. We saw Heyman talking. It's good shit, man.
Oh, yeah. And now that they've shifted into looking at more independent wrestlers, which is, again, back what they did when they had Black and Gold. And I know that original NXT failed against Dynamite, quote unquote. But I think that was more, it was rushed into a spotlight that it didn't want to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I just don't think the patience was there. I don't think the delivery was there. And listen, people have rumored about Triple H moving NXT back to Wednesday to say, all right.
Well, they've got the next takeover, stand deliver, whatever special event that's going up against, isn't it All Out?
Is that actually going to be a thing?
I've at least heard it talked about. I don't know if it's signed, sealed, and delivered.
Interesting. We'll get back to that one, Scott. We got lots to talk about on that topic. Just saying hi to some of the fans at home. Brian, Scott, we've already caught you. Boss Monster, good to see you, Brian. I'm doing well. How are you doing? We should make CJ brand sock puppets.
I mean, I still got the golden KJ over right beside me. I can just make him talk as CJ.
Right. There's some love going out there. It's on. No. That shouldn't be up there. Sorry, bro. That's not cool. What else we got? Cool. Chris Fiend come back. We'll get to that too. So, folks, we'll get to some of your comments as we go through here. But yeah, like we were saying, Nick, we legitimately have an influx now. And one of the things I wanted to transition this into and kind of touch on is with all of this change, and everyone's talking about WWE, which, yeah, makes sense. But I feel for the first time ever that there's an actual competition that could kick off now. Because I don't think the new regime is as passive as the old regime and just happy to sit up on the mountain. Triple H is cocky. He's got an arrogant side. I think legitimately where we talk about Mr. Booker of the Year, Mr. Longest tenured CEO.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Oh, shit.
Now things get interesting. Now things change a little. Now I think TV 14A, hey, Triple H is a guy that drove a tank to the competition. So, like, hold on tight, folks.
By kicking off, the competition's actually going to start. Because to me, this has been a competition that both teams have been trying to lose the entire time. Between WWE's releases, which Tony can thank half of his roster for, and between his just Vince Russo-esque booking to where every match is anarchy in an arena, barbed wire everywhere, shark cage, death match. Christ, we even just saw it last night on Dynamite to where the match pretty much started off with a DDT on the concrete.
Yes, and that's where we're talking about Brian not looking very good, and that was a shit show.
Yeah, but so that's the thing is now WWE's actually starting to get involved in the game, and when someone like Hunter is going to wield that power, it's going to be very interesting. I think that's why he's come out. Tony Khan's come out and mentioned all those things about how long he has people under contract for. Well, I have so and so for 5 years. I have so and so for there. You don't do that unless you're nervous or you're scared or you've got something creeping up in the back of your mind of, well, hey, Adam Cole and Hunter used to be really good friends, and now he runs everything. So how long are you signed for? Yeah, okay, good.
I think, and that's I think where we were going with this was a little bit ago of like, you see the potential of, if you don't feel comfortable, if you're not in a good place with Tony, if you're not happy with how this is going direction wise, if you're not part of that core group that gets a lot of what feels like special treatment, a lot of stories are starting to creep out, and
you're not a young buck.
Yeah, I mean, maybe things aren't all rainbows and lollipops over there, and yeah, there really is an interesting time now because Tony had the advantage of guy goes to, someone becomes a free agent. They didn't want to work for Vince. So I'll scoop him up. I'll scoop her up. I'll skip him. I'll pick that one. And, right. But now you have somebody that can go sit down and go, okay, you go meet with Tony. We'll talk to you the next day or vice versa and pitch them and get them. MJF, Wardlow, Hobbs.
Christ, they got Cody. They got Cody with Vince. So imagine what they can get with Hunter controlling everything.
Now, do you think it's partly incumbent on the fact, or like Triple H has to come into this and be able to deliver? We got it. The fans, the wrestlers, everyone's got to see some type of shift. Not 90 degrees, not complete new direction. We don't have to go crazy, but it's going to be a gradual turn. But he's got to show that the product's solid.
Well, I think that we're already going to get that because we've been saying a bunch on stream that I think come post SummerSlam, or if not at SummerSlam, we're going to get at least a big enough of a splash that very much is going to let you know that this is a new era in some form or fashion. Because we've already had like the talks about Sasha and Naomi maybe coming back now that Vince and Bruce are really kind of out of power. Right. We've had Seth Rollins and Riddle's match be taken out of SummerSlam, but Rollins may still have a match because it will Hunter responded.
Yeah.
So there's still maybe a match there that could be a surprise return or debut.
Right. No, and I think we are going to get surprises. I think we are going to get debuts. I think SummerSlam is the perfect stage to deliver a decent, like a decent surprise, a decent holy shit. Really send a message with SummerSlam. You see already, we pull Riddle out. Now we're not sure why, because you're like, that's odd. We know, what happened. We saw what happened. We know that, he didn't really break himself, but he's not going to participate in SummerSlam. So is it an angle with Triple H? Does it begin an angle with Triple H? Is it an angle with and I don't mean Triple H as a wrestler. I just mean as like, counterparts and some type of playing into this. Is it somebody like Gargano? Is it Bray? Is it?
You read my mind there, sir. Because I initially kind of thought, okay, it could be Gargano.
Wait. You're not saying what I think you're saying.
I'm saying as long as he's not with Edge.
Okay.
Because I've seen that picture now kind of floating around and everything of say you have that's what I was looking for, of if Seth's in the ring doing his whole ha and then all of a sudden turns and then let me in is right there. I think the building would come unglued.
Yes, but you don't think it's going to equally come unglued if he does come out with Edge? You know that, right? It's going to be unglued.
Going hard in the paint for that.
Uh-oh. We got. Oh wait, he left. Oh, we're taking a minute here. You're muted, sir.
For those watching the silent film up in the top left corner.
I just know that y'all can't hear nothing I'm saying. I just know it.
What is happening?
No, folks. For those who are listening at home, our boy CJ trying to join us, but the weather is not cooperating. His internet's not cooperating. So I think he's gonna join in the chat or maybe our back chat and give us some more things to talk about. I feel bad for my boy because he was chomping at the bit to get on here tonight, and he was eager to. Man, he was ready to go, and you know how CJ can be, Nick, and.
Oh, absolutely.
Poor guy.
Because now that we were all ready to go, and then good old Mother Nature turned heel. Now it's okay. Now we're trying to get the engine going again.
Right. No, I mean, all best wishes to our buddy. We'll get him back here soon. So it's because AEW we caught that one. No, but Chris even surmised about the fact of it might contradict now the Bray thing, if people who are believing that he's involved in those vignettes, that somehow it ties into Bray Wyatt, like me, then it would be a hard pivot, right?
So you think that you would honestly, so it would be a big enough pivot and it would throw you off, if I'm hearing you correctly, that if Bray Wyatt returned and challenged Seth Rollins, because now that match with Riddle's off, that would bother you if that happened instead of him coming out at some point with Edge.
No. It wouldn't bother me at all.
Okay.
But for the people who are like, these vignettes seem like it's Bray. Oh my God, it's got to be Bray. And then I don't think it's disappointing. It would just be a bit of a, you know what? Bray, you go there. You're going to kill it with Seth. We don't care. You go that way. And you know what? Edge will let you team up with Dominic.
Right. Well, that's the thing is just because, if they're coming back together, then that doesn't mean that they have to be a tag team, like have to be stuck to each other's ass.
No, I don't believe they will be a tag team. That's a good
I
point
don't think
too.
they'll come back together, but
that's actually a good point because they could split them up and have Bray show up and you're like, oh shit, Bray's back. And then, probably post Edge coming out because we're like, wait, Bray didn't come out with Edge. So that will be interesting. But they could, come together on Monday and say, listen, this is the beginning of the end. You guys are all fucked.
Well, maybe. That's more of I'm entertaining your idea. I don't think that would happen, nor do I want it to, sir. But I am entertaining your idea. I think.
All right.
Like I said, I feel like with all the hints and everything that Bray's been throwing out, he's either just perfectly trolling everybody, or there's got to be something somewhere. And I feel like WWE offers the best production-wise and everything that could pull off something that Bray would still want to do. And especially with Vince no longer there, he can no longer be labeled hard to deal with because he actually gave a shit about his gimmick and about his storyline. So I think that Bray challenging Seth at SummerSlam wouldn't be a bad shout. Just a way to make a splash, just a way to instantly, I guess, kind of metaphorically grab Tony by the balls and say, I got you, motherfucker. Like, I'm here to fucking fight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, I've been so kind of dialed into these fucking vignettes that I kind of want this to happen.
You went down so far down the rabbit hole.
I did. I got sucked in, man. And I watched some of our counterparts, some of our fellow wrestling YouTubers just dive into it, and some guys have picked it apart. I mean, I didn't have time to break down frame by frame and analyze the music. Some of them had like, the same sound effect, the same scream. Like, yeah, because they have a stop scream button, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, I won't lie. I at least on probably one or two of them did that whole, like when you play the record backwards or like play
yeah.
it slow. I tried doing that with like the videos, like is there going to be a secret message? But I think it's all a bit smoke and mirrors. Honestly, I think we're going to we may get a little bit of a change up now that Hunter's in control. That's might be why we saw Edge's scheduled planned return at MSG all of a sudden canceled.
Apparently that was travel issues. That's the
Yeah.
bullshit I heard.
Traveling because Hunter said, nope, this ain't gonna work right. We need to fucking give us a little time to fix this shit.
What about the story that the original plan was Edge and Beth?
Lady Fiend. Since you're so set on, yeah, since you're so set on it being Bray Wyatt, it'd have to be Lady Fiend. But no, I don't think that would be a bad idea. But I just don't think that there's any other like men-woman pairing that they could really go against that would be worthwhile, except maybe Seth and Becky or Miz and Maurice, which I don't want to hear about any more gigantic balls.
CJ wants the sources on this. Yeah, I mean, listen, I feel like it was always referencing somebody with Edge. I don't think it was just imagery about one person. And even if I take Edge out of the equation, just watching it, I'm like, there's more than one thing, human, whatever, involved in this scenario. There's two different shapes. There's two different figures, as far as I saw it. And I connected a lot of dots. Now, is it just crazy? You know, I already have the answer I'm looking for, so I need to make the evidence fit it.
Ding.
And, yeah, ding, ding. Fuck you, Nick. But no.
You're welcome.
I mean, you're welcome. No, I really do. No, because originally I was like, okay, it's Edge. Like, no big deal. But then that second vignette fucked me up, bro. That's what it was, that second vignette.
But that's why I'm saying that if they played them in reverse, or if they played those two in separate orders, like if they played the quote-unquote second one as the first vignette, that you could have ran with everybody with that catching fire of it being Wyatt. I think because the first one that they aired was so much towards Edge that it kind of killed it instantly for me.
Right? But why? So, I mean... So if you saw the first one first, you'd be like, okay, I think it might not.
I would have been on at least for maybe a week that it would have been Bray.
Okay.
But once that first one that they had that was very clearly Edge aired, I would have been off the Bray train.
Okay. But that's kind of what happened, right? And I mean, you just literally was like, it's Edge. They showed me Edge first. It can't be anything else.
Because I don't think that they would do, because we talked about this, and we're going to keep going down this rabbit hole, is that, to me, it's be too much of a good thing. You would have literally, it would be the eater of worlds, because both of them would just try to I don't say they'd try to,
it would be brilliant.
Their characters would overshadow each other. And
I don't think they would. I think they would rise. I think it would be like, and especially if the speculation is the fact of, say it's 6. Maybe it's fucking Beth and Alexa and fucking you pick a couple dark, creepy people and we'll throw them in the mix. Like, if it was 6 of them and it was a faction and they came to run everything, I'm intrigued. I am.
Yeah, but we're not getting that. If we're still going by the vignette thing, it would be 2.
I'm still on 2. I agree. I'm getting a little ahead of myself with the 6. I really do think that 6 could refer to the fact that if he shows up on Saturday, it will be his 6th appearance at SummerSlam. Is that correct?
Reach, sir.
Maybe, but I mean, like
I said, it's fair enough. I feel like
cult, right?
I feel like it's a little bit enough that you already had a preconceived outcome, or if anything, like the second one, like hopped you back on, like how I said that the first one, that one would have hopped me on if that was the first one that they showed. That one, whenever they would have played it, hopped you on, thinking that it's got to be Bray showing up.
Right. The second one, yeah, but it was just then the third one kind of just cemented it, and like there was little things that I wasn't sure
about. The snowball going though. That's the thing, is now you're already seeing the outcome.
Yeah, but I honestly feel like the skull and crossbones on the wall actually refers to a third person. Now I'm stretching, and then they had the mask on the wall, like the graffiti. I don't know. The little circle and the light bulb tripped me out. It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Yes, it's a lot of imagery to be imagery.
No, it's too. I mean, that's just too much random.
You're giving them too much credit, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but then why does Wyndham change his fucking Twitter handle back to Wyatt?
You're
not trolling with a trademarked item, buddy.
but they still want him, so they're not going to try and file some sort
Well,
of.
now who's reaching? You think if somebody started?
No, you don't think that they want him?
Oh no, I agree they want him, but if they
Right,
weren't
so he
getting
can
him,
do whatever he wants. He can play both sides as much as he wants. He can. All that man has to do is put out a tweet, change one thing on his Twitter account, and the whole world jumps.
Listen, man, I'm enjoying this debate, but I saw that in the chat. What the fuck does that mean? For those who can't see what I'm talking about right now, somebody, our boy CJ threw up in the chat. Ryback is back. Like in what? Running where?
No, and that's because he did like Warrior, and changed his legal name to that.
So what, is he changing his legal name to Ryback?
I believe he has.
Shut the front door.
It's a bit like I said, it's like how the Ultimate Warrior, when he left WWE, he changed his legal name to Warrior,
Okay,
so that way he can still use it.
Okay, so even if he gets his own fucking trademark, what the fuck are we gonna do about that? Like, he's fucking. Like, it's not like he's coming back to wrestle. Nobody wants to be.
Well, that's the thing, is the fact that we're even giving this man half a second of a brain thought is more than this man deserves.
Hey, I get it, but I mean, every once in a while, I like to shoot on Ryback because he's fucking terrible, and he's terrible in the ring. He was terrible out of the ring. He was just terrible. Paul Heyman couldn't save him. Yo, if you fuck up a Paul Heyman rub, you are fucked. And he did. So, no, he's a complete fucking waste. And, yeah, so now he's Ryback Allen Reeves.
I told you.
Well, maybe you can go horse riding like the other Reeves. Anyway, what else we were talking about? We got sidetracked on that little ditty, but what else going on in wrestling right now? And maybe we'll get to some of the questions in the chat.
You just had it pulled up there of the Seth Rollins Riddle match getting canceled.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of transitions off what we were kind of going with, but
yeah, well, we were talking about who would face Seth at SummerSlam if they still have the match. So
I think Gargano's the play here.
I think he's probably the most likely that's someone not on the roster right now.
I think Gargano would be in a gigantic pop. Not that, and I'm not taking it away from other suggestions, but I think Johnny Gargano would be insane as far as how the fans react.
Yeah, if, like I said, if we're going for, I want to almost try and see if I can find someone on the roster who could be a good match for Seth Rollins, and I think I found your doppelganger there, KO. He hasn't been doing anything. He had the whole Elrod thing, and then that just disappeared to nowhere.
Oh, the shit.
I think if he had a match with Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, especially because he's very much a Triple H guy, and it would be a callback to when Hunter came out and pedigreed Seth so KO could win the title.
Right.
I think if we have to go with someone who's on the roster, I think that's the best match you can make.
You're going to send KO out after Mr. Rollins?
Instead of, well, if we're still going to have a match instead of the Riddle Rollins match, if we're going with someone on the roster, I would say KO. Do you have someone better on the roster that you would go with?
Is there any chance it could be Randy, or is he legitimately down and out?
It would be who?
Randy.
I think he is still down and out. I think he's a bit in that position to where he doesn't need surgery. I think the last comment I heard was from Riddle, who is half-time almost insufferable to try and understand an interview with that man. But he basically kind of said he's all right. He's kind of getting, he's kind of getting a bit better. You know, he might not need surgery. He might be back, you know, man. So I don't know why I turned into Tommy Chong there for a minute, but
Randy.
Yeah. But I don't think it would be Randy. Do we do the Goldberg since we talked about him maybe replacing Brock? Do they just say, well, fuck, we already had Bill on speed dial and it got out? So
fuck off. If it's Goldberg versus Seth Rollins, I will not watch that match. I will be on a break. I will tell all the fans out there, all our friends out there. Yeah, if Goldberg comes out at any point during SummerSlam, I will leave the room.
Yeah, to me, that's not anything I want to see. I never want to see Goldberg in another wrestling ring ever. So I think, to me, the best person that you could come up with on the roster right now that isn't hurt, because obviously
KO's a good one.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, obviously we could do Cody for like the 18th time if he wasn't hurt. But so I'd say KO, and then outside of the roster, I think Bray and Gargano are the two best bets to me.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I mean, you still have got. It would be kind
Does
of
Edge come back and face Rollins?
That would be a fucking twist. That'd be a real fucking twist because it just tells everyone that the Judgment Day is busy with the Mysterios and their shit.
Yeah, they ain't got shit to do.
Right.
They're interrupting parties and mad because no one came to their birthday party, Finn.
All right. So, you know, Triple H comes out and says, you want somebody, or maybe not. Seth's out there saying, you know, shooting his mouth off. Edge comes out. Everyone's like, holy shit, creepy Edge. It's all creepy and new and gothic. And then they start having a match. Match is about to end, or it's getting near the end. Lights out. Edge isn't alone. Little bit. Right? It's not bad. Not bad.
Do you have, besides Gargano, do you have anyone that they think that they do Seth against? Like, say, if
you know what would be really cool? No, it'd be really cool, Nick.
Yeah.
And people in the chat can let us know what you think or who you think should go up against Seth Rollins. But Ciampa.
Dude, that's such a hard shift, though.
I don't care.
Take him from Tommaso Mizdow. He
can't even be there. Remember, he's only coming out of the crowd anyway.
Right, but he's Tommaso Mizdow now. He's, got Miz's back on Logan Paul and everything. Just comes out of nowhere like a little creepy bastard. It's just such a hard shift, and he looks so bad, and he looks so out of place. Like, my heart breaks for the man, and I feel like now, mini Triple H there, Tommaso is gonna get the fuck away from Miz. Hopefully, now that Papa Paul is in charge. But I don't think you could do that fast. AJ?
Dolph? Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to pop for Dolph, though. Roddy, a little lower down, but Roddy would be cool. But I don't think the fans would react as strongly as some of the other names. I really think it's Gargano, dude.
Like I said, he's not a bad show.
Shit. Gable Stevenson? That's a reach.
No, I thought he's back at college doing wrestling, or unless that is wrapped up.
I believe that is the case.
But I don't think, to me, that's putting somebody way out there to get exposed. That could be not James Ellsworth. Get the hell out of here with that comment.
Hey. Who else? Who else is out and about that we haven't talked about?
What if, now hear me out, and this I guess would be ultimate fantasy booking, is they say that Seth's going to have a match, and all of a sudden, out of the crowd comes MJF.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
I think Aaron A-Town just threw up Eli Drake. That would make me happy. I don't think you get enough of a fan reaction off of it. Half of them would be like, "Isn't that Maxine? Maxine?"
Yeah, that's Maxi Pad. He had he got the same problem that Elias got, that made him Ezekiel.
Oh shit! I forgot. I overstepped. I'm sorry, CJ. CJ's still with us. He's right there. There we go.
With us in spirit.
MJF with Jonathan Gresham. That's not going to happen.
Oh, I know. Well, like I said it would be ultimate fantasy booking.
Big Cass. Interesting.
That's not a bad thing. I feel like we brought that up one night, or at least them coming back to WWE, especially at least Cass, because he's done with Impact, and they were looking at him when he had that match on Dynamite.
Right. And I noticed comments in the back. We'll talk about that after, actually. But I really think it's coming down to, do I think it's Bray? No. I don't know. If I was to put money down on anybody, it would be Gargano for me. At the end of the day, I think it'd be insane.
Yeah.
Maybe they can put the way back together. Enzo and Cass would get a huge pop, but I don't see it happening. Yeah, man. I mean, what if he doesn't have a match at all? It just stays that way.
Warm.
Yeah, it'd be a little bummer, right?
That'd be laying an egg.
Just oops.
Especially when you have the chance to do something and then you don't take it when you just took over control of everything. It sets a bad tone.
It does. You got to go somewhere with it, and I mean, people are I think people are kind of hopeful.
Well,
that it somehow sets off like, I'm the new boss around here, Mr. Triple H coming out.
Yeah.
And Seth being like, it's starting off Seth having issues again with Triple H. They have a long storied history. So people were like, it'd be really cool. Like if, Triple H sends out Gargano and then it starts up something there. Interesting, right? Like, I mean, it's not terrible, but they could use a good authority figure.
Oh, yeah. But I think you wouldn't have had this precedent of they need to fill something in with it unless if Seth Rollins hadn't put out that tweet basically saying, hey, I can still go. I still want a match. And then with Hunter responding to it, it's like now it very much feels like there has to be something that
you got to do something, right?
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's crazy. Like this is one of the craziest times I ever remember as a wrestling fan, as a WWE fan, to literally be at a point where we have no idea what any of this is going to look like. And some people are still saying it's going to be the same old shit. I don't think so. But a lot of people are saying that, Nick.
Right, but that's because we're still in this. We talked about it even with like, I can't remember one of the last WWE shows we were watching to where we talked about how it was very padded out and it felt like they were just running everything long. This right now is just a stopgap point. I think it's not going to be a hard shift, completely, like you said, 90 degrees or something, but you're going to start to see the little bits bleed in. Like we already heard talks about them doing the TV 14. Yeah, it hasn't officially happened yet, but it's getting close, I feel. We already had it mistakenly put out there for SummerSlam. So I think it's going to be, it's going to slowly happen, but I think that there's very much, this is the dawning of a new era.
Yeah, I really hope it is. I truly, truly hope it is. Some people cited, going back, it was Triple H and Stephanie and in the ring saying like, we're going to do better. So they're like, hold our horses before we get a little too excited. We've seen it, but they're still under the control of the same people. The idea that Bruce has been demoted, Johnny Ace is gone, Vince is gone, Dunn is sitting hard in the middle of a picket fence. He might have to decide left or right before he lands, where. So he's got a decision to make. They might have a decision to make on him. If he's too loyal to the Vince way, then we might have problems. Like even, and we can ask the chat about this as well. Like, is it possible, little things like, the Vince McMahon unallowed words goes away?
Yeah, well, I think that's very much prevalent, and that's very much a thing that's happened now already. You can start to see it come into place of where all these little, Vince chirping in your ear, gone. Because I think we noticed it on that SmackDown, like that night when he retired, that the commentary seemed a lot more loose, a lot more, free flowing, because they didn't have, Big Brother talking in the ear. And Christ, Cody sat there and said, I'll pay $1,000 fine every time if they're going to fine me for saying belt.
Right? Absolutely. Screw it. I'll take the fine. And it's just stupid shit, right? Like, let people talk the way they talk. Like, it's like all this dumb, like medical facility and fucking it's such a long list.
You want to know, why they did the medical facility thing? Huh?
You should actually bring up the list.
I bet you if you I can explain why they brought up the medical facility thing if you want to bring up the list.
Go ahead, and maybe our producer can drop in some of the Vince banned words.
Well, I know he for a fact doesn't like people sneezing around him, but they brought up the medical facility thing because crazy fans and everything would find the local hospital in that area and go and actually try and get into like the hospital rooms and stuff like that. Like I could very much see an actual situation to where like Stone Cold's hitting somebody with the bedpan and everything.
That's fucking dumb.
That's why they did the medical facility, so you don't know exactly where.
Real quick, I just want to say a big shout out to Sean. Thank you for being here tonight. I see Dale, Chris, Brian, a bunch of people have popped up. So if you are new here, like, subscribe, and join the family. We do this all the time. We'll be back tomorrow for doubleheader Friday. Then we're going into Saturday and Sunday. We got SummerSlam and Ric Flair's final match. We can't wait. It's going to be a good time, folks. But interesting comment here. Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, that's not a bad shout, honestly. I think that would really be putting him on the map, which I think he fully deserves. Like he's super talented. But I think that would be that would be a bold statement.
Yes, that'd be a bold statement, and I really do think, again, for some, it's not a grand enough pop as far as their audience goes. Right. As far as that arena is going to be full of people that have no idea about anything to do with NXT.
Yeah, unfortunately, SummerSlam's a bit more for like the casual. That's one of those. Right? It's one of the big four. So that's one of those that even your guys who still think that Stone Cold and The Rock wrestle pop in and watch it. Yeah, just because they used to watch wrestling when they were younger. So you need something that's going to try and hook those people back in.
And that's where and now people are going to say, well, KJ, you suggested Johnny Gargano as the guy. And I know that's counterintuitive. I just think Johnny's a big enough name for what I think there's smoke with that one.
You good?
Yeah. I was waiting for you to respond.
Oh no, I thought you were still going.
No, it's good.
No. Gargano's he just hears on that line of being a big enough name, and I think it's more because I bet you the reaction from AEW and AEW fans would be the bigger statement, because that's the thing is like I said before when we were talking about it of you don't get these little shots like I'm now the longest tenured CEO in professional wrestling. Congrats, dude. You got 3 years on the job. Try and make it 60 plus, and then we'll talk. And then the whole shot's about, well, I have so-and-so under contract for this many years, and I don't think anybody's worried about people leaving for WWE. That sounds like somebody who realizes that there's, the big bad boy finally woke up.
Right. No, that's nervous energy. And, we've seen Tony plenty that we know there's plenty of nervous energy in that gentleman. And what happened in a couple moments recently, like you touched on, to me, it comes off insecure. Comes off as a guy who's like, and just saying shit. Comes off very insecure, and I've seen it before. We've seen it with some of the issues he's had with wrestlers, where he just tweets shit out. And you're like, the CEO of a company or whatever the fuck he wants to call himself, he shouldn't be putting shit out there like that. Shouldn't be communicating in that way. Should know how to take the high road. Should know how to shut his mouth. If you're, running a multi-million-dollar company and some former wrestler pipes off that they hate the place, the guy all the way at the top doesn't have to come down from his perch to go, oh, I don't feel the way you feel. No, it's unnecessary, and it's bad look for Tony consistently. And this is going to be really interesting times for AEW.
You can't hug your way out of this one, Tony. Sorry that your Uncle Dave award, their Booker of the Year, that I'm sure the Young Bucks help you get, or because you gave Dave, access to everything in AEW.
Right.
That's why every match there is fucking 8 stars plus. But yeah, Tony is finally realizing he's about to really get pushed and really. You want to flex and brag about, being Booker of the Year. You want to take all these shots about WWE. Yeah. All right. Well, now, like I said, now it's time to play the game.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Right. Cheers to that. But that's the thing. It's like, the tough guy on the street, knocks out someone's fucking grandpa, and he's like, oh yeah. And then all of a sudden, all right, grandson shows up and is going to knock on the door and say hi. can I go now? And that's, to me, A, it's exciting for fans. B, I mean, we see it on this channel, and I think Dale's got a comment there about the viewers, right? Like, I mean, didn't crack 1 million. And again, another one of these big shows, Fight for the Fallen, you didn't crack 1 mil.
We've talked about that they very much still at times have that feeling of that they're in indie just on a much grander scale. Like even Kevin Nash was recently quoted as saying they seem outdated already, and that reminds him of WCW Thunder. We've had other people say that, you know, the backstage it was chaotic. We had the whole situation with Jonathan Gresham just dealing with Ring of Honor.
Oh, nice.
There's too many spinning plates going, and
too many spinning plates.
It's very much just they want to placate to that indie, that, you know, diehard wrestling fan, the smart audience, when they don't draw in any casual viewers. I know people were mentioning about how WWE doesn't have many casual viewers left, right? But WWE is also a little bit like the Disney of professional wrestling. So everybody knows of WWE at least. That's why Vince McMahon retiring was a pop culture issue. That wasn't just a wrestling issue. That wasn't just a wrestling news story. You know, it wasn't just Brian Alvarez and, you know, Sean Ross Sapp covering it. Like an ESPN, ABC, CNBC were covering it.
Everybody.
With AEW strictly just wanting to take pot shots at WWE and placate to, like I said, the internet wrestling community versus trying to actually gain in, you know, moms and dads, or even, you know, teenagers, young adults, anything like that aren't already wrestling fans. That's not setting yourself up for success in the long run.
Not at all. And I mean, if you truly want to compete, like, I mean, listen, AEW, I told you from day one, I've been following AEW tight, and I want to continue that. And being critical of what they're doing, not so great, is completely fine. You really do, you know, we've gotten really great stuff. We got a really great alternative wrestling. Some nights we've had amazing shows. The first ever 10 out of 10 I gave on a stream was to AEW. It really was. And whether people loved it or hated it, or some of it was too gimmicky or too cosplay, it was more fun, more entertaining, and more interesting than what we've been watching for over a decade.
Well, you can critique AEW and it not be a hater or anything like that. You can always want people to be better. And it's not even a thing with their product or anything. Like, even we just watched Dynamite last night, and I absolutely loved that main event between Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson. I thought that was match of the night, even though it was done a little backwards and Bryan looked like he may have legitimately hurt himself. But for me, it's when you take pot shots at the other company and everything, and you just do stuff unnecessarily. You do stuff like what Eric Bischoff did in WCW. That's what makes you come across that way. I still think that they have a hell of a product. Trust me, Eddie Kingston's one of my favorite professional wrestlers to this day. And I give that man a world title. I'm pissed off that he's still stuck in a feud with Jericho. But you can still critique them and not be a hater.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely, right? I mean, that's the thing. I find this wrestling war really interesting because both sides are extremely sensitive. Like, when I start explaining to people how much Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks suck, problems happen. But the truth is, if you want to play in the major leagues now, Tony's really going to be tested because Vince wasn't fucking with Tony. As far as Vince was concerned, it's not like Vince ever tuned in. He might have told somebody, hey, you check out.
Yeah, Vince has never messed with anybody. That's why it was a huge thing. Remember when Kurt Angle told Sami Zayn and KO that, well, I heard Impact's hiring.
Right? Yeah.
So that's the thing is WWE never mentions another product.
You didn't have to. I mean, you're doing more viewers, you're making more money, you're selling more tickets, like you're selling out bigger events. Like, we just announced AEW for the first time ever coming to Canada, coming to Toronto. Excellent. Are they going to be in Scotiabank Arena? No. Are they going to be in the Rogers Center? No. Is it the Rogers Center? Yeah, I think so. That's Skydome for the old folks. But no, they're going to be in the Coliseum. Very small venue. Right,
but that's the thing is I do get very much like that's the thing.
They would probably sell out Scotia, just for the record.
Well, I look at it, and that's the thing is a lot of people. I feel like Tony Khan's built himself up at times to act a little bit too big for his britches because AEW has only been around 3 years. There's been plenty of companies that have come and gone that had a longer reign of history that tried to go against WWE and got knocked down because they went about it wrong. Prime example, look at WCW, look at Impact. I think that he needs to actually, I know we've talked about the agents and everything backstage, but I think he just more needs someone else to come in there and actually get a booking team around him. Like he needs his version of Bruce Pritchard and that's a terrible example.
That's a bad example. Bad example.
Well, I was just saying of creative people around him.
Right,
like he needs his Paul Heyman to his Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
But do you not feel like he has the same problem that Eric Bischoff had, where shit, man, these guys are coming into the room and they're like, we want to do this, and he has no ability to say, Jericho, that's a shit idea. Young Bucks, that sounds fucking terrible.
The Young Bucks are the Hulk Hogan of tag team wrestling.
I love that comparison.
Because it's fucking accurate. I'm sorry. For every one good Young Bucks match that you get 10 garbage trampoline, spectaculars.
Spectaculars. And I've kind of gone on an anti-AEW rant here. It's fucking hilarious. I am it's funny to be big fans of AEW. Listen, Wednesday night is my favorite wrestling night of the week.
Right. I think we just kind of fell into a hole here.
Yeah, we just fucking started like, hey, fuck them all. No, it really is a tricky one, because I think for us, if you take all the good shit you have and stop shooting yourself in the foot with the bad shit, then it's a really, really good show. Consistently a good show.
Right.
They got to go ahead.
We want both companies to actually to make this a fair fight and have this be a good, clean competition. We don't want, Papa Paul to come down and just, with his mighty sledgehammer like fucking Thor and just smash AEW to pieces. We want both companies to actually make this to where you every night, whether it's on the channel, obviously with us, it is watching wrestling. It is can't miss because of everything that's going on. We'll never get back to that Attitude Era, but I'm hoping that we at least get as far as a good product on TV. We get back to, 1A versus 1B versus, 1 versus 7.
Yeah. And I mean, and people will still say, well, and then you remember there's AEW, there's Impact, listen, the WWE's on a different fucking level. And yes, AEW is the closest ones to be on that level. But do keep in mind, when Bischoff and WCW were at their heyday, when they started winning, like they're pulling in 4 or 5 million viewers each at that time, and they're battling. This hasn't been a battle that way. Tony can't crack, and at some point he's got to realize that the hot shotting and the melees and the constant death matches and the constant no DQ, it's not bringing in any more viewers than the people you had when you first started.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're pulling for Little Engine that could. We're just tired of seeing him getting tripped up on the freaking train tracks by himself.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like for 3 years, now, I mean, it's a startup. And I've always said, I treat them like an expansion team. They take time to grow. But you sign
They're literally the Jacksonville Jaguars of professional wrestling.
Amen. But they're better than that. They've had, I don't know. I see where you're going with it. It's hard to argue. But yeah, you want to see them. You want to see them roll. You want to see them do well, and there's been so much good shit. But to me, it was like, you get Punk, and all these eyes tune in. Holy shit, they crack 1 million. Everyone wants to see this moment, one of the best wrestling moments of the last decade, if not ever. And this guy comes out, and the fanfare was amazing. And you're like, you know what, though? We're going to slow play him. He's going to fight Lee Moriarty, and then he's going to fight someone else from Dark.
All right.
And then people are going to go, well, wait a minute. No. That was CM fucking Punk. You needed him in a main event story. He didn't have to win the belt, but he's got to fuck with main event guys right out of the gate. And if you can't find a good way to write that, you suck at your fucking job.
I don't think that's that they couldn't find a good way to write that. I think that just literally after a 7-year layoff and getting his ass handed to him in UFC, he wasn't ready to go.
He's not pitching for the fucking Yankees. You have your time off. Okay, I'm going to come back in June, July, August. I'm going to go hit the gym. I'll be fine.
But that's if you actually think it was that far planned out. Do you think it was that far planned out?
No,
7
man.
years, and he hasn't had a
that
match
guy,
in
and you
7
got
years.
a million people watching. You hotshot the fuck out of him, and you bring in another million viewers because everyone's like, "Holy fuck, CM Punk!" By the time people figured out CM Punk came back, for those who didn't catch the news, it was a fucking done deal. It didn't matter. It was gone. It like he was having so matches, and then the night he won the belt, we'd been on the pay-per-view so long, us here and at home were like, fuck. Then he gets hurt, so you're fucked either way. So you really didn't do justice to that guy, And there's a few people that he's had that he hasn't shown that he can turn people into money, and that's the one thing Vince always did was if he signed the talent, he didn't develop the talent, but he turned talent into money at one point. The problem is you had to develop something now, and he couldn't.
Yeah. Vince absolutely at this point can't develop stars, but I agree 100% with what you're saying. But to me, it's one of those of just Phil Brooks was not ready, but in his mind, physically to go at the top of the card. So I think that's why that happened. I agree that if it should have been planned out enough or gotten him, have him on Dark that doesn't get taped in front of anything. Christ, we just had the freaking pandemic era. I'm sure you can run out Daly's Place again and everything. And just let him get some warm up and everything, and absolutely strap the fucking rocket to him. But I think they struck on a hot enough moment at that time, but he wasn't ready to go. I understand.
He didn't even have to wrestle, and he didn't even have to
get the belt. You kind of have to pin the champion to get the belt.
No. But that first stretch, when he's getting back and he's in the ring training on his off time, fine. If he was ill prepared for this spur of the moment signing, which I don't believe that. You made it sound like he was fucking Rocky Balboa, and I haven't ran up the stairs yet. I can't have a fight. It's bullshit.
This is the man who thought he could leave WWE. And go into UFC and actually be a legitimate fighter.
Yeah,
and got his ass handed to him.
Well,
he does have a little bit of overconfidence, I would say, but I think that's why it was a good thing that he maybe dialed it back a little bit, because he's already managed to break his foot, either doing a springboard into the ring or diving in the crowd or whatever.
Who's Jake Hager? That's a good fucking question. He's the tree-looking gentleman that's walking around with the same facial expression at all times.
Yeah, he's the I am Groot of Jericho Appreciation Society of just I am Hager, Jack Swagger.
But if you had, back to your point real quick though, if you had Punk come in and just be in a storyline involving top guys, and I mean, I was fine with Darby. Darby's good. Everybody loves Darby. That's going to get some eyes. But once you got out of Darby, you need to, and I mean, the MJF shit was great. It was all the other wasted time between. He should have been in that tier. If you came out of the gate with, he doesn't have to wrestle. He has got a month to argue with MJF before they wrestle for the first time. A month, but you put him in with nobodies, and
the problem is sorry.
But that's it. He's just not helping his own cause, right? Brian didn't. Adam Cole didn't. Who moved the fucking needle?
Well, even then, that's the thing, is I feel like they keep bringing in people at the wrong time, because WWE's been gift wrapping them people, and Tony gobbles them up, and then like they didn't finish the Hangman story by the time that they brought in CM Punk, and so that caused that whole delay of Punk getting the championship and everything. And then they instantly piggyback Adam Cole and Danielson returning.
I like the double swerve. That was one of my favorite nights in a long time.
Oh, it was amazing because it pops you, but it's one of those, if you could have spread that out and gotten two for the price of one.
I think they got two for the price. Well, they kind of got one for the price of two. Move on. They kind of got one for the price of two.
Yeah. We
put poor Gresham, we pulled him up, but then we got heated into this one. So Gresham ties into this, and we can talk about Gresham real quick. It's an interesting story. Apparently, he was really heated with Tony prior, and that's what I mean. Like with Tony, even a guy like Gresham, like when the wrestlers start yelling at Tony, does Tony curl up in a ball? Does Tony have a bodyguard, like a heater? Like does he have a diesel that stands in between? What does Tony do when somebody freaks out? I don't know. But Gresham wasn't happy. I think because they told him he was about to lose the belt.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's just the whole situation that played out was super weird. But like it totally ended up getting released even right before the card started because he was pastoring at a prison group. Like, how do you do that to a man?
Huh? I heard rumors he went to Vegas or something.
No, he was in a prison group. Like he was pastoring and everything. Like,
yeah, but did the Christian group go to Vegas?
What? No,
you know, no. Group in Sin City?
Totally did not go to prison, and that's why he couldn't make AW.
Are you sure? I heard Vegas stories.
Oh, I didn't hear that. But even then, still, you had Gresham. He's a unique character because he is all of 5'4". I stand almost a whole foot taller than this man. So, and like we were talking about this a bit before back in, in our own thought of like comparing him to a guy like Rey Mysterio, that to me, that just doesn't, that's not a fair comparison because Rey's taller than him. Spoiler alert.
Now, I'm not going to interrupt. You're going to keep going. But right now, for the fans at home and for everybody watching, you guys don't realize right now, CJ's head is fucking exploding in the background and he can't do shit about it. I feel so bad for this guy because I know right now, look, he might even try. But Nick, finish your point about Mysterio and how we can't compare Gresham to him because I happen to agree.
Yeah, because you have Mysterio works because he's a high flyer, small, quick, fast, energetic guy. Who's that jumping out the sky? REY. Gresham, right? A small technical guy that you can't want to get grapply with, and get in wrist locks and submissions and everything. To me, the man is an amazing, talented wrestler, but it's just now he's kind of pigeonholed himself into a corner a little bit of where do you go from here? I understand he's going to supposedly take some time off from professional wrestling, go hang out with Jordan, but to me, he doesn't have anywhere else left to go outside of, say, MLW, Impact, or maybe he continues on with his whole. I know he has his own little. Terminus. He has
Terminus. Yeah, go back to Terminus.
Right. So maybe if he ran with that, because I feel like if you put him somewhere like WWE, literally outside the land of the Giants, he'll look like a child. He'll look like Nicholas with Braun Strowman coming out to win the tag belts. Like that's what it'll look like. And it's no disrespect to the man because absolutely in the ring he could hang, but on
shit.
But if you looked at him compared to say a guy like Brock or Roman or Omos,
what are you gonna do?
He'd look like a child.
Right. And again, so I'll go back to something you touched on a few minutes ago. Was that shut up. That's what we both do. It's a talking show. But yeah, you do. No, I'm just kidding. The point about Rey Mysterio and the comparable, it's different. And it's completely different, especially because of the style of wrestler. It's my favorite shit ever. It's my favorite.
I can't because I'm Big Nick, because I'm tall. I look down upon you people.
I spend a lot of time, on here trying not to offend anybody. I never thought the vertically challenged would be the ones to first go. I thought I might accidentally step on other landmines before I got the height change.
The ROH Guild, the ROH Guild, the ROH Guild.
Listen, we saw it for the championship at Ring of Honor, and it's not size shaming. It is literally being realistic. Brock Lesnar has larger bowel movements than Jonathan Gresham. And that's no offense. I'm not comparing the two. I'm saying the man is gigantic. He leaves shit in his front yard lawn that are bigger. And I think Gresham's great. Gresham versus Danielson, great match. But Danielson's bigger than him. And Danielson's tiny.
Yeah, that's the thing, is not to specifically talk about WWE guys, but even like when he had the match with Claudio, he swung that man to high heaven because he literally was almost a complete plank. Because he's that short and could get that much air underneath him. Like I said, I think him versus Bryan would have been an amazing match.
Yeah, it does, buddy.
But him versus even a guy like Cesaro, even a guy him like Moxley, or or Hager, since we talked about him earlier, to mention, or Wardlow even. He's just going to look dwarfed, unfortunately.
He looked dwarfed against Cesaro.
Right, that's what I'm
blew me
saying.
away, right? Yeah.
I think that is now Tony does not skate free on this at all either, because this man seems to have absolutely no plan for Ring of Honor after this. Yeah.
CJ telling the kids off in the back. Listen, if size doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is, it's not about his overall size. And I know we're size shaming. Rey Mysterio is a legend, one of the best that ever did it. He's not the only small guy. Eddie Guerrero wasn't a big guy. Chris Jericho's not a big guy. He just thinks he is.
He's a wizard.
It's the type. Now, Rey Mysterio was a lucha. He was high flying. He was one of those ones where he just took an absolute beating and then would make a comeback. Gresham is a grappler.
Yeah, normally your small guys like Ricochet, most of your cruiserweights that are in WWE, your Dante Martins, your Sammy Guevara's, they're smaller guys, but that's because they're high flyers. They're, they wrestle a more athletic. Well, I don't want to say athletic, a more high flying style.
CJ. Anyway, yeah, man. Oh wait, Punk talked about Vince to send the message back to Punk. Yeah, maybe. The thing about the race thing, listen, I gotta call bullshit on it. I don't think it had anything to do with race. I don't think it had anything to do with character, because
I haven't said one word about that man's character. I was just about to say that Tony Khan himself does not get to skate on this whole issue, because he has no actual plan going for ROH. Can anyone tell me when the next Ring of Honor show is? No, exactly. That's the thing, is that this man bought it fucking just because it was there. He has no actual plans for this, and now he's just got more belts to play with and more toys to add to his collection.
Well, no, but then I don't even care about that. I mean, at the end of the day, this came down to one thing, and Gresham, of course, Gresham said it, but it's bullshit. And to pull that card to me is bullshit. It's unprofessional, and it's bullshit. It has nothing to do with that. It was a bigger star, a bigger name, a bigger man came along and was better, period. Has nothing to do with anything else. Cesaro wearing the Ring of Honor title gets more recognition than John Gresham, period. And now he gets to put Cesaro on his show and just have that belt on display until he does have a plan. I mean, he's got to go somewhere with it, but it has nothing to do with height, has nothing to do with weight or race. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's simply a better athlete.
It's a booking decision. It's a booking
decision. But I would have made that booking decision 100 out of 100. When I saw a man try and put an ankle lock on, and he was the equivalent of the man's leg that he was trying to hurt, Cesaro should have picked him up and pancaked him, and that's what happened. Right? I don't care. Yeah. It's the same thing when we talk about it with Cora Jade getting in the ring, and she's standing there in front of Elektra Lopez. I'm like, all right, it looks like a 16-year-old angry teenager and some soccer mom that wants to beat the shit out of her. I mean, there is optics that go into this sport. It has to make sense. It has to fit. If you're a little jack guy that can run around and make it believable because you're super fast and the big guys can't catch you, so you use like flips and tricks to win, that's great. But Gresham is a grappler, and it doesn't work. He doesn't have a great personality. He's kind of bland. He should go to Impact, though.
Well, no, you kind of hit the nail on the head there a little bit ago, to where Gresham had a great run with the belt. He was the world champ going into the end of Ring of Honor before under Sinclair Broadcasting, and when he had the unification match with Rouge.
No, CJ's clearly, he can be compared to another little guy, but Gresham can't be compared to Ray. It's not even the same category. They're not even in the same league. Like Ray's miles, like the peak of Rey Mysterio is not even close to what Jonathan Gresham right now is. There's no comparison. It's like comparing, just because they're both little doesn't mean we get to compare them. It's like trying to compare Muggsy Bogues to the last little guy. Like Muggsy was a different fucking story. That's what it was. Like you can't have it. You can't have it. You can't. It has nothing to do with they're both little, so we can't explain it. They're not the same character. CJ out. No, it's you can't compare just because of what they've accomplished in their careers. Nobody would be like, oh, like Gresham's the next Rey Mysterio. It's not a comparable.
Right.
Right. Gresham is the equivalent of Hornswoggle. Oh shit. a little taller. If Gresham was jacked.
Well, no, like I was saying, is that he had a great run with the title, and he was kind of the flag bearer for Ring of Honor while it was in that transition of if it was going to get sold, you know, who was going to buy it, everything else. And Claudio came to AEW after getting released from WWE, and he's, unfortunately for Jonathan, he's the bigger star right now to your regular viewer. So I'm going to put the belt on him that anybody who's watched WWE knows that guy. Oh, that's Cesaro. He used to wrestle in WWE, didn't he? Even if they call him Cesaro like Seth Rollins did, they at least know that he used to wrestle in WWE. So that maybe I'll fit into him. It comes down to nothing between race, you know, height, character, anything like that. It literally just comes down to who's more noticeable to a casual viewer.
Right. And then, I mean, again, Cesaro doesn't have a great personality. And it's not because he's more white, because, you know, I don't think it has anything to do with the color of his skin. They gave him his own mouthpieces to stand around him. Cesaro won't do a ton of talking, even though his last promo was okay. But realistically, they both have the same personality. They're both great wrestlers that really can't get themselves over. And that's unfortunate. I think the plan was to have Gresham still in Tully's group with the, what's his face? The new manager.
Prince Nana, right? So I think that was the plan, put Prince Nana with that group. But Gresham doesn't want to be there because he's upset. I get it. But, I mean, to me, him and his girl, Jordan Grace, they really should think, like, I feel like they hot shot and they put their foot in their mouths quite a bit. And for me, it comes down to the fact, like you said, and I said, and everyone else has said, it was a big, notable signing. It's a big deal. You know, holy fuck, Cesaro's the Ring of Honor champion. All right.
That's it. All right. Enough of this guy. Where are we going next? Oh, okay. We'll stay on this top. Stay on AEW. Oh, wait. No. Oh, no. It's T-shirt time. T-shirt time. T-shirt time.
Everyone knows it's T-shirt time.
Right. But ladies and gentlemen, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. It says below and above me now. For those listening right now, we are on YouTube all the time. For those who are on YouTube all the time with us, thank you for being here again tonight. We will be back tomorrow for doubleheader Friday, SmackDown, Rampage, Go Home Show for SummerSlam. Then we are back on. Now, last Friday, we showed up at 4 in the afternoon, Nick, because some shit started popping off. We are on a run.
And it hasn't stopped since, folks.
But these Friday breaking news, guys, click the fucking bell. Make sure you know when we're coming, because I'm telling you, we're on this Friday heater right now. For all you know, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we be popping up because the next thing happened. You never know. So, but if not, we'll be back for doubleheader Friday, SmackDown, Rampage. Then SummerSlam. We go live 6:30 Eastern on Saturday. It's going to be a long day. Bring your snacks, bring your cookies, bring your popcorn, whatever it takes to put a smile on your face. Bring it with you. Saturday nights on this channel are always off the chain, are always ready to go. So be here for SummerSlam. It is one of the most anticipated WWE events in years, as far as I'm concerned. And it's not even by their fault. It's kind of, they fluked into this shit. And then backslide. And then Sunday, we come back for Ric Flair's last match. That card is stacked, folks. There's a lot going on in that card. I can't wait to see the matches. We're going to run through them here shortly. But Ric Flair's apparent goodbye to the wrestling world.
Oh, it's going to be a goodbye.
I set you up so perfect, bro, and you didn't even win.
Folks, for those of you who are just new tuning in or are just listening to this after the fact and everything like that, these thoughts and opinions are mine solely and not a expression of anyone that is associated with Wrestling for Life or anyone in the chat. To me, I feel like this is unfortunately going to end up like euthanasia in a professional wrestling ring. I think this man is going to absolutely get his, what I feel is ultimately his wish. And I mean, no disrespect to Ric Flair, because that man's an absolute legend. He is the Nature Boy. He is iconic. He is up there with Muhammad Ali when it comes to professional wrestling. But the last woo that this man is going to hear is going to be the wee woo from a fucking ambulance when his ass is getting carted out, because this man is 70 plus years old on blood thinners, has already had serious health scares, and now I even read a report earlier that he wanted to do a dive to the outside in his last match. The same man that literally looked like a fucking cadaver when Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett got a hold of him, now wanted to sit there and do a tope suicida.
Oh my god, Ric Flair, Rick. Oh yeah, we forgot. See, you went on a tangent, but we will take a moment to quickly remind everybody, if the producer hits the button. We're going to call him the producer from now on. Where's the
Bruce?
Bruce! What happened to the t-shirt? Now
from Bruce, okay? Now, Spectrum is fucking Bruce, but not me.
There you go. Oh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard us tell you before, we have our limited edition t-shirt with Alt Wrestling Tees out and available now. Go to Alt Wrestling Tees. Check it out. He's got a great catalog of t-shirts as well. I just got my dad mode one. I'm pumped about it because, dedicated on a different level. Can't really argue with that. This is the Pro Wrestlers Beat Up Sports Entertainers Wrestling for Life edition. Easy for me to say. Nick, do you want to add on to that as well?
No, absolutely. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. We are here 7 days a week. Obviously everything that we say, you're getting our realist, up to the date, live reaction on everything. But yeah, absolutely. Go check out LTs. I know that they're coming out with a lot of new stuff. I know we might be working with them on some other stuff for the channel.
Oh, my Iron Man t-shirt.
Exactly. So we're just getting started, folks. So, big things popping, little things stopping, and you're going to want to be here for
growing by the minute, folks. And we are creeping. Oh, we jumped. We are 24 away from 500, ladies and gentlemen. And as Nick has told everybody, I'm going to steal his thunder on this one. But my boy Nick said, and I think CJ said it too, so maybe everybody's getting a fucking t-shirt. We're like,
well, you'll get your own autograph from your chosen host.
Sure. Favorite host.
Right.
I'm down. That's what
ain't nobody gonna want my damn shirt.
That's bullshit. We got fans. We got fans. Sasha Banks and all right, sorry. We're getting some production notes from Vince. Ding ding. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, go check out Alt Wrestling Tees. We got lots coming your way. We got more plans. We got more content coming up, and we're blowing through this weekend, guys. If you like wrestling, then you should. You're here. But even if you don't, just hang out. We like to talk.
Even then, I still just love that it's just one giant family. It's just one giant hangout, like we've said all along. The wrestling may suck, but we never do. And it's true. We're just, it's like having your buddies over, hanging out, shooting the shit, talking about whatever's going on. Bryce, we were talking earlier about CJ's, natural weather disaster going on. And, we're here talking about everything under the sun in wrestling, and then even throwing in some throwbacks to this, some nostalgia here. And everybody that's pretty much popped in sticks around. Christ, I popped in around WrestleMania weekend, and now I'm here freaking on the channel. So, absolutely.
Nah, it's crazy. CJ was in the chat. You were in the chat. We've had other members of the chat. Joe joined the team. And yeah, I mean, everyone's. It's been a group effort. It takes a village, but I was super happy over the last few weeks here, where this channel really hit a groove, hit a grind. And not to talk about us too much, but the point is, like, subscribe, join. This is the most fun you can have watching wrestling. Tell everybody you know, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your neighbors, their pets. I don't give a shit. Tell everybody that
I know some of you got like 2-3 accounts out there. They should all be subscribed to his channel.
Yes, do it. But yes, get us to 500, and then we're pushing for 1K, folks. It has been an incredible fucking 20 weeks. What a fucking trip. And we're not stopping, so I hope you guys like it. Now, where do we go next with this show? Wait, let me check with the producer what he wants to talk about. That's funny shit. Whoever just unsubscribed, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. No, but seriously. No, we went up one.
You're taking shots at people unnecessarily.
All right. I would thank you for coming back, whoever you were. But that being said, now one of the things we've talked about, and one of the biggest stories of the last few months here, has obviously been Sasha and Naomi. Now, rumor is they're confident, maybe not confident, maybe confident's not the right word, Nick, but they are hopeful, optimistic. Optimism seems to be the word.
They have a snowball's chance in hell.
You don't.
And I say that as that before they were gone, there wasn't a chance of them ever coming back. To me now,
chance.
Literally no chance in hell. I feel like now that there's been this change in creative, that, and especially like I said towards the beginning of the show, that Steph's come out and said that she wants to actually focus on the women's division. Now, granted, Kevin Dunn's comments about Becky Lynch and everything, and about how she's, she shouldn't be a champ because she was quote unquote not pretty. That doesn't help his chance. And now you see why he's very much getting shown the door. But I think that now.
Wait a minute.
The lines of communication.
Wait.
What?
1 second. Fuckface Dunn said that Becky's not pretty?
Kevin Dunn.
Yeah. I called him fuckface, but
I thought you were asking who. I was just letting you know. But
no, I was confirming that it was.
Oh, yeah.
I called him fuckface instead of Kevin, so I understand your confusion. But what do you mean? That's bullshit.
But yeah. So now that the lines of communication are at least going to be open between Sasha and WWE, I don't think they ever closed with Naomi just because family ties. But now Sasha going to AEW isn't one of those sign, sealed, and deliver things that we heard those rumors of. She was released internally, but they haven't released anything publicly, or she's already got a backdoor deal with AEW. All of these rumors and speculations, I think now, especially because she's already put her asking price out there, very few companies are going to be able to afford that asking price. So I think her going to WWE is now very much back on the table. But
yeah.
No, go ahead.
We've seen the we saw those 24/7 shows where they were following Sasha and following Bayley, and you saw what Hunter meant to that group of women in particular. And as they progressed and they got to the main roster, and they went from being NXT stars to legitimate WWE stars. And you saw though, like that night where Bayley and Sasha had the kind of the over moment for like that for the women's revolution, that big fucking match at TakeOver. But you saw them, big old Triple H with his big dad fucking cuddles for both of them, and he's so proud. And yeah, it changes the dynamic for sure when you sit down at a table to negotiate and it's Triple H and Stephanie and not Vince and fucking Johnny.
Right. Absolutely. Well, then again, I think that WWE has a lot of in-house cleanup that they have to do anyways before they even start really trying to reach out and sign everybody. Now, granted,
I don't know.
Granted, they do have, obviously if there's a company that has the assets to do that, but we've even seen issues like I think CJ brought it up earlier today about how Alexa's come out of, just like how all of us haven't exactly been happy with her character, and the stupid ass Lily doll that's just there because it sells merchandise. Guess what? She's not happy with it either. So she's just been floating along like she had the 24/7 championship. It's just absolutely, just a rudderless boat. And we've got Raquel Rodriguez, who, sounds like she's being held at gunpoint.
Bro,
there's just so many issues already, so many little fires that they already have to put out. So it's going to be interesting how they address like the steps that they take. What do they prioritize as to what needs to get addressed first?
I think they sit down and they literally go, okay, who do we got? And where do we need the guys that are currently, guys and ladies that are currently on the roster? Where do we have them, and where do we want them to go? Okay, we want these people up at the top. These are great, filler. Then they got to figure out, okay, can we bring someone in and insert them into one of these and make it smooth? I don't think you're going to get like the Tony Khan, Triple H of just like fucking it's Noah's Ark and we just start fucking loading up. I think it will be gradual. I think there's going to be a process here. Now, to me, like Sasha, which is spelled backwards right there, that's hilarious. I'll call it out, folks. I don't give a shit. Writing on the fly. That's not how you spell it. And nobody even pointed it out. I thought we were friends, folks. I mean, did anyone else even notice?
Honestly, didn't. Well, that's the thing. That's that weird palindrome trick. That as long as the first letter and the last letter are the same, the interior letters can be completely jumbled, and your brain will instantly make it right.
There you go, folks. We're funny, entertaining, and educational.
Point ahead, look smart.
Right, there you go. But I mean, obviously there's long-standing history with Naomi. Maybe part of the conversation is like, okay, fine. You can come back. You guys, we're going to build a fucking women's tag team division that matters. We're going to bring up Gigi and the other one. We're going to, we're going to
JC Jane.
JC. Yeah.
JC
all right.
Jane.
Right. We're going to bring in, we're going to put so-and-so together and so-and-so together. We're going to have, a good division. Or maybe it is, Sasha, go get the belt. We'll send you after the belt. I don't know what the conversations are. However, if they want her back and name value alone, she means something to this company. Letting her go to somewhere else is bad for business.
Yeah, well, and like the initial point of this whole thing was that now that Vince has stepped down, those lines of communication that, it seems like a much more possible situation that she comes back than she's gone and we're just never going to talk about her again.
No, it could be completely just out the window, but Bayley is not back yet. Now, here's a question. Actually, that's a good point by Chris. Thank you for bringing up Bayley because we're kind of in this mix right now. People have talked about Charlotte coming back. People have talked about Bayley coming back. Bray, I got a question after this, but the list of people that are due to come back, they're currently under contract that want to come back. They all can't come back together tomorrow or on Saturday. Are we gonna have like 4 or 5, 6 reveals? Could we? Fucking hell!
We're gonna probably have a point. Like I said, we're gonna have a point to where we get the Tony Khan effect in reverse of to where how Tony had, like I said before, Adam Cole comes out and then Bryan Danielson comes out. We get Claudio Castagnoli here. We get a shark cage, barbed wire everywhere match here. Pop after pop after pop. We're going to get that in WWE because we're going to get Bayley comes back. We might get Sasha comes back. We're going to get Edge comes back. We might get Bray comes back. There's so much potential because that's the thing. Like we've been saying this all along is now it's the big bad bully on the block finally woke up and got its teeth back and realized it can kick some ass too.
Yeah, right.
And that's like I said, that's not a slight on AEW. That's just now this is a shot back across the bow finally of step up your game and wake up.
Right. Like Dale seems to agree as well. Like Charlotte could be back at SummerSlam. Thank you, Dale. But Charlotte could come back. I mean, there's a lot of pieces at play. Do you get someone like EO back in the fold? because Triple H loved her.
Oh, I think a lot of the guys and gals that are on NXT right now their whole careers are about to get changed up. And like that's a bit of why we've talked about with Austin Theory. I don't know what he's done or if it's just because he won the briefcase, but this man has been buried every second since Vince has retired.
Dude.
Especially with Roman pointing out, look around, your daddy's not here anymore.
It's amazing that they called that out. It's amazing that Roman did it, but it's been a consistent thing. But he wasn't the only one to make those references. And we've seen this man get beat, just thumped. I have
that was the whole first hour of SmackDown is that everyone on the roster got a shot in on him.
Right? Like I have two minds of this. One, either he's not exactly like somehow, some way, the people now calling the shots don't love him, and this is the punishment for it. Or are they trying to rub the Vince off of him? Like, are they trying to beat him to a point of like kind of joke, like a Theory versus the whole roster? And after several weeks of everyone just shitting on him, he's now the antithesis of a Vince guy. He's being abused for being a Vince guy, and he's going to
bury him so hard that they think he'll pop back out on the other end of the earth
as a baby face. Fuck.
Come out as a baby face smelling like daisies.
Right? It's possible. But yeah, I mean, for me, you could legitimately get Charlotte. I'd like to see Charlotte back. And again, now we're starting to talk about Charlotte's in the fold, Bayley's in the fold, Becky's in the fold. I'm missing one. Who didn't I say? I got distracted by noise in the background.
Sasha, potentially.
Sasha would be the other one back in the fold. So you get all those 4 women back. Naomi's a talented athlete, even though I don't like her with a microphone. I prefer her in a tag team. The division's starting to look good again. The division's starting to look like when it was the best women's wrestling, bar none, in the world. It was top level women's wrestling, and nowhere could you go and find. I'm not nowhere, but the level of matches those women were putting on were amazing.
And it was very much. It was the gold tier, the top tier for women's professional wrestling. And I think right now, honestly, Impact holds that crown. I think it goes Impact, AEW, WWE are very much competing for the bottom there.
As it stands now, it's you got a good point.
But I feel like, especially depending on what they do now, especially like with someone like Liv, who is going up against Ronda, who we thought was going to be this one that they push as a world beater, just goes Goldberg and goes 175-0 and then walks off into the sunset with, every championship. But now that Liv's coming over as like the biggest babyface right now, almost in the company, that whole women's division is going to be very interesting to see the direction that they take now that it's not Bruce and Johnny going through a swimsuit catalog to see who they have at tryouts. Now we've got, like I think CJ pointed out in the chat, now we've got former NBA All-Stars competing at WWE tryouts with Dwight Howard.
He showed up. Did he try out?
Yes. I was actually looking that up while I was talking and everything like that.
Okay.
He did participate in the tryout,
Come to the tryout, bitches.
Right. If anyone gets that reference, I will be amazed.
I love that reference.
But yeah, he did. He actually went on record saying Howard told journalist Arash Markarzari, I butchered that name. He legit wants to join the WWE one day. As part of the WWE tryouts, talents are instructed to cut a promo. Traditionally, they are not given a prompt, and coaches have their own criteria of what they are looking for when a talent cuts a promo off the cuff.
I want to see a Dwight Howard promo. I'm confident he could pull it off, and he's a big jack dude.
Oh, yeah, him and Omos. There you go.
No, I mean, Dwight Howard can talk, though. That man's cut many old promos in his basketball.
Oh, well, he's got a personality. It's going to be one of those if the man with any big man, and not to go to too much NBA talk and everything, because at least for right now we're just a wrestling show. But
we'll let other channels cover like movie reviews and music.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll do wrestling.
Hopping around.
We like wrestling.
Yeah, right. You say but the man's knees have not always been the greatest throughout his career, and that's kind of what's held him up on the back end. So I wonder if doing something like professional wrestling and that type of schedule, the man had a hard time going with 82 games during an NBA season, and I know that's a lot of games, but professional wrestlers in WWE are on the road like 300 plus days a year.
Are they still in the road?
Well, not so much now because the house shows
like
died off a bit, but there's still plenty of travel, and it's 365. There's no real big off season here. You don't get 3 months out of the year to decide whether you want to get traded to another team or not.
It wasn't a swimsuit catalog. It was a Muscle Mag International.
No, that was Vince. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. That's what it is.
That's Vince. That's Vince. Different.
Oh, absolutely. With Ico Pro and everything. That's how Lex Luger got into professional wrestling. Is he was supposed to be a bodybuilder?
Right. Remember they started like a bodybuilding company to circumvent the rules. So
absolutely. Like
Luger was signed as a bodybuilder, not a wrestler, and then that all fell to shit. And then they were like, "Oh, fine, you're a wrestler."
Yeah. That's why he came out as initially as the Narcissus.
The Narcissus with the plate in his elbow.
Well, yeah, no, it was Narcissus, and he had all the mirrors around.
The mirrors, yeah. And his finisher was the running fucking elbow. You just
because the bionic,
He had the bionic elbow.
Folks, if we haven't told you by now, we are very much, at least me and KJ are wrestling fans of a certain vintage. So don't worry, we will have you covered from Wrestling A to Wrestling Z.
Oh, look, good. Naked Sex is back. I was wondering when you were going to show up tonight.
They just love me so much. They just wanted to come back and give me some love.
For the moderator to leave to show up? How did that plan out? For fuck's sake. Fucking with my evening, sir.
Throwing off the mojo.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Remove. Report. Where's Victor? All right. Thank you. Fuck off. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Yeah. That's someone else's shtick. I'm not stealing. I give full credit to the man.
Cornette. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Yeah, that's his shtick. It just fits.
Yeah, it was the WBF, the World Bodybuilding Federation, is the promotion that Vince wanted to have. With Gary Stridham. And
fuck! I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah, see, point ahead, look smart. Wrestling Rolodex right here, folks.
That's it.
But yeah, Vince McMahon's the guy who likes big sweaty men, not Bruce and Johnny. They were thumbing through, swimsuit catalogs and lingerie magazines.
Hide this user on the channel. Yo, dear YouTube, when you block somebody, why do they not stay fucked off? Like, don't you have some offs to fuck at all? None?
Right.
The person is currently blocked, blowing up my channel.
Hey, but Mitch, thank you very much for popping in.
Oh, you can do it too now. Hit the button. Yes,
I was.
Yes.
Yeah. See, tag team back again.
Right.
But yes, Mitch, thank you very much. Thank you for joining. And, folks, be like Mitch. Everybody should be like Mitch.
Be like Mitch.
You should subscribe to this channel, because we are here 7 days a week. We're right now, rolling through the Let's Rumble podcast. We were just here last night for first night of Dynamite for AEW Fight for the Fallen with Dynamite. We're back here tomorrow night. Hopefully, fingers crossed, just because, I'd like to, actually be able to do some things. Is that nothing chaotic news breaks like Vince retiring last week. And so
I'd like to do some things. I just caught what you said there for a second. I'm like, why are you wishing for? Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, it would be nice.
Right. And then, but we will be here for our usual doubleheader, and that normally is one of the craziest nights. Well, that kicks off the whole weekend, folks. That's the doubleheader of SmackDown followed by Rampage, and then we're going into SummerSlam, the first pay-per-view of the McMahon-Helmsley era. The Invasion finally won. Heyman and Stephanie, they finally won. Unfortunately, Shane couldn't make it, got kicked to the curb. And then we were following it up on Sunday night. The Sunday night get right is Ric Flair's last nudge, nudge, wink, wink last match under surprisingly Jim Crockett Promotions. And even though I feel like that his match is going to be a car crash, the whole rest of that card is stacked. And do you want to actually get into going through that card if you want? Because
yes, I was just thinking that. You read my mind, sir, as far as we're getting a little long in the tooth, but I'll leave it up to you. We can either do Ric Flair's card real quick and just kind of run through it and then talk about Flair's match. That's probably the best way to go, and then we'll do our SummerSlam picks.
Well, do you want to do that, or if we want to, and this is, again, folks, the reason why you should absolutely, on top of that, ring the bell notification, because we don't know exactly when we're going to pop up, because God only knows at this rate what's going to happen in professional wrestling. But if we, hop on and, we do one better than, your typical terrible.
You're going to want to see it. I know, Nick, he wants to do more research. Yeah, let's do, well, yeah. I mean.
You got to be gold, brought to you by Snickers pre-show. With our predictions before each card, unless you want to go right now. I'm good either way.
No, I'm totally in to go. I'm totally in to go. I mean, if we're gonna do Flair, we might as well do both. We'll recap it.
Yeah, you're good. We're straight, but I just don't know if you want to do what we've done before of just read off and then just say a name, or we want to go into it.
I don't know. Just let's start shooting out matches, bro. Why are we overthinking this, Scott?
Bunkhouse Battle Royal, Adam Priest versus Big Damo versus Brian Myers versus Bully Ray versus Crimson versus Crowbar versus Gringo Loco versus James Storm versus Cow Hero.
You're gonna read off all is it 20 men?
No, there's another line though, but you want to read that?
I'm in.
Versus Commander versus Ricky Shane Page versus Zimbody versus Wolfie D versus TBA to be announced.
Versus TBA. Yeah. That's funny. I think TBA is going to win.
Cheapskate. I'll go. It's between Bully Ray or James Storm for me, because Bully Ray, I'm surprised. I'm surprised AW never came a knocking really with him, at least for something.
No, I think he's too
or even WWE, to be honest. I know he had the little run there after Devon, but still.
The Young Bucks are terrified of Bully Ray. There's no way he's coming to AEW. They're terrified. Fuck that.
I will take James Storm in that match.
James Storm, eh? Interesting. Who else was in? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God. Then we have Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus Killer Cross.
Wow. I'd like to see, if I was to cheer, I want to see Davey Boy Smith Jr. take
Davey Bulldog.
Yeah, I have such an affection for British Bulldog. I can't help it.
I think a guy who might go back to WWE with his wife, Killer Cross, takes up the win.
Yes, I do see that as being a high possibility, Mr. Nick.
Yeah, they give him back all the pomp and circumstance, and he doesn't look like, some BDSM Trojan warrior.
Well, do you feel... Sorry, but do you feel... Did you say BDSM Trojan warrior?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you not feel like that? Could you not see Triple H, Heyman, Michaels, pick another couple? Maybe Road Dogg went back. I know CJ was talking about Road Dogg earlier, where he didn't quite get in the doors at AEW.
Oh, they said no, sir.
No, not today. But for me, I'm really interested in the fact of what do you call it? I completely lost my fucking point. Where was I going with that? Doesn't matter.
No.
It'll come back to me in a second. I got completely distracted by the chat. Where were we anyway? Oh, the match.
We're rushing up, baby boy.
Yeah, do you not think they're sitting around in a room just having a fucking chuckle at sometimes? Guys, how did they fuck up Karrion Kross? Get them on the phone and get Scarlett and Karrion back in here right now. There has to be several of those of what the fuck?
Oh, I almost think that, this would be a very much a reach theory, but that Triple H's, cardiac event very much coincides with, half the roster getting cut in all of 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe it was right around the time that we were like, listen, me and Bruce here are gonna take it from here, bud. And
Right, we got this, pal. And then Bray Wyatt's got this person, got that person, got that person.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's a very valid fucking theory. I mean, realistically for me, dude. Dude. Yeah, let's go Davey Boy Smith Jr. on that one.
That's fine. And then next we have the Von Erichs, which is Marshall Von Erich and Ross Von Erich, versus the Briscoes.
I can't help but feel like the Briscoes are gonna win this one.
Yeah. After the match with FTR, they're very much winning this one.
Yeah, I'm curious to see the Von Erichs. I really am.
I don't think I've really seen them before. I've seen their relatives.
Yeah, well, and I mean, from what I understand, a lot of the Von Erichs decided that they were just going to stay in Hawaii. I think there's a handful of the brothers or a couple of the Von Erich children that are out in Hawaii, but I could be wrong on that. I just sometimes make shit up. But no, I really do think obviously with the lineage of the Von Erichs, I'm curious to see what they're like.
Oh yeah. So we agree on that one, and then the next one is the Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, versus Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. So we're basically getting TNA tag team title match circa like 2010.
Right, that's kind of what it feels like, but I'm down for this one. I mean, I like.
Absolutely.
Motor City Machine Guns been on a little bit of an upward push in Impact right now.
Yeah, didn't they just fight each other for like the number one contendership?
Yes, and I believe Alex Shelley's the new number one contender. Fact checkers. I know Victor's gone right now because he's checking in on that one. But I got that. I'll go with Motor City.
Okay. I will go with the Wolves.
That's a better pick. Fuck. Wait, you picked Flairs.
What? No.
I was making fun of me. I'll go Motor City. We'll see what happens.
Well, no, that one to me is very much a coin flip. Out of the two tag team matches that we've read in a row, that one's very much a coin flip because both teams are great. It's going to be a hell of a match either way.
Yeah, I'm down. I think so that's 3 matches on that card already, folks. If you're keeping track at home, that are solid.
Oh, yeah. And then we're getting another callback to the past here with the Rock and Roll Express, which is Kerry Morton and Ricky Morton. So father and son versus the Four Horsemen. Boo, these men should not use this name. Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson. The four.
Are they letting them go in as the Four Horsemen?
That's what it says right now. I'm on the Wikipedia page, and it says the Four Horsemen. The Four Horse Boys.
The 4 horse.
The 2 horse boys. They ain't even 4 of them.
Yeah, there's not even 4. Another interesting match. Brock Anderson, and we'll talk about it on Sunday. I love when Brock Anderson comes out. He makes me. Brock Anderson
makes you feel young because he looks like he's like fucking 50 and has been chewing tobacco.
I can't take him serious. He looks like his dad so much, but not in a good way. I don't know how to explain it.
He looks like if you did like a CGI of Arn and tried to make him look younger.
Yeah, right. Kind of. It's the funniest shit. He looks 65 in the face. And who would I go with on that match? I'm gonna go Horseman. It's Flair's night. Hard not to.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like with that one, especially if they're going in as the Four Horsemen, there ain't no way they're losing.
All right. Sean says he'd like WWE to pick up the Von Erichs. Now I'm even more curious. Come back on Sunday. Well, come back tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. But come back on Sunday. We'll talk a little more about the Von Erich, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have, well, it was supposed to be Alan Angels versus Jonathan Gresham versus Takeshita. I tried to actually pronounce it right and failed. And Nick Wayne in a 4 corners match. But I wonder how that's going to go, seeing Jonathan Gresham's whole potential hiatus. because he does out of that match. He's honestly who I would have picked to win that one.
Really?
Out of those four, if he wasn't having, the whole confrontation with Tony, I would have picked him.
Interesting. No, listen, honestly, and I don't want to get back too far into it, but I truly believe the only person or company or anybody that has any impact, you see what I did there, with Gresham stepping away is Gresham. I think he only fucked himself. Now, the rumor is he just wants to step away from wrestling for a while anyway. So it's really a non-issue. And I think he will work over an Impact. I think he's a good worker. I liked him as ROH champion. I just thought Cesaro was a better choice. And it sucks that he quit, but where are you going to go? WWE won't take.
He still hasn't technically been released, and I'll just leave it at that.
Well, there you go. Interesting.
But so I guess we'll put Jonathan Gresham as TBD for this one. So who do you have for that one?
Yeah, that'd be TBD. Oh, well, no, he'd still be involved in this, wouldn't he?
Well, not if he's stepping away and taking a break from professional
I think he'll make
know how soon that goes into effect, or if he's going to follow through.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I think he's making this obligation, though. I really do.
Maybe just because it's kind of the last thing.
Why not? And I'll pick him to win. Just to fuck everybody.
So then we have Bandito versus Laredo Kid versus Ray Fenix versus Taurus.
Grab your popcorn for this one, folks.
Oh,
someone might get hurt.
Don't blink, because you're going to miss about 8 Hurricane Ranas.
And a few topes in there for sure. All the topes are coming out. The Suicida, the Cornholio, the
Conhelo, yeah.
The Conhelo. They're all coming out. They're bringing out all the topes. Who's going to win that match? I'll go Bandito.
Yes,
it should be Phoenix, but I think it's gonna be Bandito.
Oh no, I want Bandito involved more. I know he's very much got a whole situation and deal with, I believe, both AAA and CMLL. But he was fantastic in Ring of Honor. I think he would be a good fit on Ring of Honor and in AEW. So, I think even a match like him versus Danielson, to me, is an underrated match that should happen, just because there's that clash of styles, but there's not a clash of, they don't look like one should clearly dominate the other. But anyways,
I'm in for that. That's a good one for me.
So we both got Bandito for that one. And then we have Mrs. Gresham, Jordan Grace versus Deonna Purrazzo versus Rachel Ellerling. 3-way match for the Impact Knockouts World Championship.
Ooh. I'm looking forward to this one. Jordy's going to keep her. Jordan Grace is awesome. I might not love her opinions sometimes or the way she approaches things, but she's a great wrestler, and I think she'll hold on to that belt.
I will, for the sake of not agreeing with you on the third straight one.
Right.
We'll take Deonna Purrazzo. Just because she's still very much probably one of, if not the most talked about knockout in Impact, if not the most talked about wrestler on Impact's roster.
Yeah, once upon a time I was involved in an interview with Deonna where I used to be, and she's just so nice. And it just such an endearing woman, and it was a really great interview that she gave, and this is the way she approached it, and it was just like this, and unfortunately, because of everything becomes virtual over the last couple of years, but she was just kind of chilling. It wasn't like she wasn't super nervous; she was just chill, and she was super nice, and it was it made me a fan of hers. Plus, what she did over the last year collecting belts, and really, she was kind of the first belt collector out there. Sorry, Kenny. But Deonna, I'm a big fan of Deonna, but I think it's Grace's time right now.
Yeah. Like I said, I did it just to not agree with you, to be honest. And then we have what, to me, is honestly the main event, is Josh Alexander versus Jacob Fatu for the Impact World Championship.
Tune the fuck into this one. I have to go with my boy Josh, my fellow Canadian. You knew I was going to do it, Nick.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I hijacked that one on you. I should have let you pick first this time.
No, you're good because I already know. Regardless of who you went with.
Were you going Fatu the whole way?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This man, to me, I am such a big fan of this man. This man, folks, if you do not know who Jacob Fatu is, he is very much one of the reasons to tune into MLW and look up any of his matches in across promotions. This man, to me, should be in WWE with Roman, if not challenging Roman. This man is a ready-made star for a platform like that. And the fact that he's still kind of toiling around with MLW, and that's not a knock on them, but he should be in WWE or AEW at least.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu with the Samoan, the
Samoan werewolf.
No. I was thinking the tag team,
Samoan SWAT team.
Yeah, bring in Samoan SWAT, and then bring them all in. Drop Solo over on the other side, and we have a big giant Samoan war over on SmackDown.
No, you put Fatu on Raw and you put Roman on SmackDown, and they just run both shows.
That's fucking rude. But yeah, I could see
rude, but right.
I mean, it's a stretch, but I mean that'd be cool. Now I kind of want them to go to war. I'm all about battles. Let's go.
Right.
You're all about domination.
What I want to happen, not what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a pipe dream, but Solo. I keep wanting to call him Solo. Fatu. Solo Fatu.
They're gonna pop up behind you and attack you.
But boy, it would be really cool if Roman did start compiling like the Roman Empire, where that was kind of thrown around once upon a time. But bring in Solo and Fatu and just start collecting Samoans. And if you deal with one, you got to deal with like 8 of them. And you're fucked because no one's ever going to argue.
Right. Well, and even then, like I've said before, I've been very much the type of person that said that Roman holds these belts all the way till WrestleMania and faces The Rock for them and retains at WrestleMania 38, and then say loses them like even the Monday Night Raw afterwards to Braun. But I now, if they could do it, and I know this is again very much fantasy booking, would be if after he beats The Rock, he has to then face Jacob, and you get that time to where you could build up Jacob Fatu. He's that type of talented person that he deserves. Like he could very much be on that level right now,
right?
If he was in that company.
I'll come back to that comment in a second because it's funny to me. True, no, he just agreed. What was the other the
Samoan Empire?
Yeah, that right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm all about let's just do shit that we haven't seen before or seen in a while. Do it well, make it convincible or believable. And this way you don't even notice if Roman's gone for 4 months because there's 6 other guys.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You got underbosses. So you don't realize when, the big boss is out.
Please stop the family running things. It's too much already. Sorry, we were on match predictions. We are at the main event.
Ric Flair and Andrade El Idolo versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
Now, before you make your prediction, which everyone should have the same fucking prediction on this one, I don't know though. It's interesting. Mm-hmm. However, before we make the prediction, overall, and I know I'm setting you up here. Overall, they booked this match. They've sold tickets to it. The card is stacked. How do you feel about this match going into it?
Are you asking me or the crowd? Because
all of you. I was directing at you.
Okay, to me, this is worse than any sort of dark match that WWE would put on after SmackDown's done or whatever. This is a sideshow. This is a spectacle. This is something that should not be happening. That this man got 40 plus doctors, whatever ridiculous number he threw out there. Yeah, and they were Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pibb, and Dr. Nick from The Simpsons and everything else. This match should not be happening in any way, shape, or form. And I get, yes, he is very much a legend, but I am trying to just look out for this human being. And I feel like this is going to absolutely be a tarnish on his legacy, because I feel like this is not going to at all come across how Rick thinks it is. I think Rick, from what I've seen, he shows his age. He shows the wear and tear and everything. And it's going to look, and if they want to go with, it's old man Logan, old man Flair of just, you got to put Old Yeller down. If they want to go that route, then fine. But it's going to be hard to stomach.
I knew I was stepping in a wasp's nest with that one. When I first heard about it, I thought a lot of the same that you did. I think the hopeless wrestling fan in me thinks it would be really cool if he comes out and does okay. That's where my bar's at. Don't die. Take 3 bumps.
But that's the thing, is everyone's had that same thought from the moment this has been announced. Is just, oh my god, I hope he makes it through.
He's going to do
that to me right there.
He's going to do his corner spot
at all.
Listen, if it was a legitimate thing as far as like, oh shit, Ric Flair's last match, fucking WWE or his buddy Triple H now probably could pull it off, but it's too late.
Yeah.
If Vince thought it was like something, or if Tony could capitalize on Ric Flair's last match, he would. But he had to do it with Crockett, which I mean is full circle. There's a story there.
It's very much, going out as he came in, and that's why I think this man, it's going to be scary because this man already wanted to do tope suicidas, tope con hellos, all of that at his age and his physical condition. After, like I said, damn man almost looked like a cadaver after getting beat up by Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
We're all gonna mark out and pop when that man hits a Hurricane Rana.
He's gonna hit a fucking Canadian destroyer like fucking Ricky Morton.
Oh, I mean, he could. I mean, that one's an easy one because you're going to package yourself. You should be all right. Just don't.
Yeah, until he lands clean on the top of his head.
Yeah, tuck that neck, tuck that chin, get it in there.
Yes.
Shit, man. Listen, I mean, I grew up I love Ric Flair. I think he's great. I thought if you could get some of the wrestlers, and actually the closest one I think we might have right now is like a Pat McAfee, that could come out and just fucking spit at the camera, just lose it, but in such a poetic, fucking beautiful way. But like the Flair that would come out and get naked and like elbow drop his clothes, and
that's my line. That's my line.
Right?
The whole promo off with him and Lethal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be the best match we've ever seen? No. Is it going to be heavy of Jay Lethal and Andrade? Yes.
Yeah, you're going to watch a good singles match between those two gentlemen.
Are we going to get a 7-minute woo-off? Yes. Are the entrances going to be long and drawn out? Yes. Are you going to feel like you watched a 28-minute match and the match might have only been about 11? Possibly. But
yeah,
I just can't imagine them. And I mean, we clicked on the joke above, right? Like, who was it? I think it was
the
our buddy
coffin match.
Wow, you guys said more shit while I wasn't paying attention. I miss my producer. We'll come back to that. Aaron, who's got Mitch? We got that one. Where were we? Sorry, I'm totally killing the momentum on this. I think Ric Flair should wrestle Darby Allin in a coffin match, which is good. I do believe that Floyd got you one up. It would make more sense and it would be more compelling. The Undertaker, right?
Yeah, but I think we're going to get like a chop-off spot between him and Jarrett in the center of the ring, and I think probably by about the 5th chop, this man, knock on wood, knock on all the wood you have in your house, is going to collapse to the fucking ring, and we're going to hear clear. And like I said, the last wee-woo that Ric Flair is going to hear is from the damn ambulance siren, taking him out of probably whatever fucking carnival this is getting held at.
It's in Nashville, isn't it? Yeah, it's in Nashville.
Yeah, but where in Nashville?
I have no idea. I
was just on that page. Hold on. But yeah, so your prediction for this match, sir? Oh, the Nashville Municipal Auditorium. Why was that so hard? I have no idea.
All right, now that I'm done sneezing, my prediction, I mean, the old school rule of thumb is you go out on your back looking at the lights. Now, I know you think he's going to go out on his back not looking at anything.
Oh, he'll be looking at lights. They'll just be inside, the back of a
vehicle. That's not funny, but it's funny.
They might be in a hospital room. The only robe Flair's wearing when he leaves that night is a fucking hospital gown.
Right, the fucking long light at the end of the tunnel.
Right, don't go into that light, Rick.
Oh, he's gonna see lights on.
Pick out at 3 or 2.99. Sorry.
Oh shit, man. No, I think someone said it that Lethal was gonna pin Flair. Part of me wonders if Flair wants Andrade to take the dub over Jay.
I'm almost of the mind that he gives Jarrett the win.
No fucking way does Jarrett get this pin. I'd bet on anybody but Jarrett to get this pin.
I bet on, Southern Wrasslin that, Jarrett is going to, like I said, it could just be from one of them chops to the chest. And then that's the, a final move. Instead of the finger poke of doom, it's the, chest chop of doom.
Dude, could you imagine? No, but like legitimately, like everyone's tuning in. We're going to see what happens. We're going to be live. And, even if it's Ric Flair does his infamous flip over the ropes, and let's say he pulls it off, he gets to the apron, runs across the apron, gets up on the turnbuckle. Jarrett runs over, stops him, flips him off, lands on his back, and just, you're my boy, Blue.
Oh, just does the Hulk Hogan bash at the beach of just lays there.
Yeah, like no, I don't think that's gonna happen.
You're saying that he just kind of yeets Flair?
Well, I don't know. Like you got me convinced that this man's gonna have a coronary in front of everybody.
Well, no, that's the thing. I say that in all due respect, and I would feel terrible if we tune in here on Sunday night watching that, and that what I've been saying actually comes to fruition. I wish nothing but good health for Ric Flair. Yeah. I don't think this match needs to happen in any way, shape, or form. To me, Ric Flair's last match was with Shawn Michaels with the "I love you, thank you," and then the super kick.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, if you look through,
I know he's had other matches, obviously, folks, but that was when Ric Flair stopped, to me, almost being Ric Flair. He just became, he became a shtick.
Well, he legitimately, that was a great period that was the great, end note to your career. You had this amazing career, and, people often say Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, 1A, 1B of performers of all time.
They're very much, you could put them on anyone's mount. You could put them on a Mount Rushmore. No one's going to be mad at you.
Yeah, and a lot of people, you've had wrestlers come out, like even Hogan and stuff, being like, Ric Flair's the best wrestler I ever worked with. There's people that will tell you that nobody performed the way Shawn Michaels performed. And what a great moment, right? I love you.
Absolutely.
Over. Great. Tears. Any one of those moments where you can get a group of wrestling fans to choke up a little, it's a good one.
Oh, yeah. To have grown men bawling over professional wrestling, looking like a bunch of children, absolutely.
Right.
But yeah, I think we're at least in agreement that Team Flair does not get the win in this match.
I think Team Flair gets the win.
Oh, you do?
I think Andrade gets the pin.
I think I'm going then with Team Jarrett and Lethal.
Do you think?
I think he goes out looking up at lights one way or another. I'll leave it at that.
I think we're going to get double figure fours for sure.
Oh,
in both directions. I think both teams are going to take turns. I just don't see any reason for Jarrett and Lethal to win. I really just don't. I'm going to put my money on Flair's team for some reason. I think they're, the nature boy, go out on top.
Good. Just go out one last time, wheeling and dealing, kiss stealing, limousine riding, jet flying, and I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down. I'm having a hard time keeping these convulsions down.
Oh, it's getting dark. It's getting dark. Late in the podcast, we're getting dark here, folks.
Yeah.
What else we got from the fans real quick? Yep, this match is irresponsible and dangerous.
Right.
Now, do not think with insurance and all that other fucking red tape and commissions, do you not think that there's some level of precaution put into this? They'll have a defibrillator on scene, I imagine.
Yeah, that's why, like like Floyd said, it had to get moved from the fairgrounds. Like this is
fairgrounds doesn't want to be
the whole rest of the card is stacked. That's a pay-per-view. That's Forbidden Door right there. Minus New Japan, that's Forbidden Door. If anything, actually, I think there is New Japan.
Yeah, there is
competitors on there. So that is Forbidden Door right there. The Ric Flair match is just a carny sideshow.
So you in no way, shape, or form feel like this is any homage or,
I don't think that there needs to be. I'm not saying that it isn't. I don't think it needs to exist.
Yo, you're going to appreciate this. Oh, wait, that's not that one. You agreed with that one.
Hearse riding, snore stealing, Molax drinking, ladies man. Yes, I love it, boss.
Your favorite dirty grandpa.
Yeah, oh yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. If anyone's gonna have allegations like Vince, it's gonna be Nate.
Yes, take a shit is from New Japan.
See,
there we go. We got presents. This is a great card. It is an absolute great fucking card.
Yeah, that's a true Forbidden Door, like I said, up until Ric Flair. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you got it. That's exactly what I was saying. Like when we get into that Flair match, I don't know. I think I kind of want to get lost in it a little bit. I kind of
I get you want the nostalgia, the feel goods, and you want to go back to where it would be like if Muhammad Ali was sticking around or Mike Tyson, to show up. And it's like a Mike Tyson exhibition. You still want, the nostalgia, the pomp and circumstance. But unfortunately, Ric Flair is not at all in any shape, form, or fashion to be out there doing to compete at the level that Ric Flair thinks he can compete at. That's the thing. I think he is unsafe unto himself. Is that Ric Flair thinks he can do more than what he is actually physically.
Yeah, but he would have had to ask it. I know we joke Dr. Pepper or, whatever, Doogie Howser.
I called the witch doctor. They told me I could fight.
But really, dude, he would have got a little bit of fucking. Somebody had to check him out, check his blood pressure. Who
stayed at a Holiday Inn? Which urgent care did he go to?
Why urgent care? He's okay.
Because that's what I'm saying, though. For him to actually get past any sort of physical.
Yeah, I mean, that we said they moved them from the fairgrounds, so maybe the fairgrounds were afraid to get some on them, right?
Yeah, I'm sure the bunch of carnies that are letting you ride the fucking Ferris wheel that they just put together in a fucking church's parking lot are really concerned about Ric Flair surviving a wrestling match. No, I think that they didn't want to fucking get dragged down with his sideshow bullshit.
It's funny because I thought you were making the comparable of Ric Flair to the fucking the roller coaster,
the Ferris wheel.
I was like, hold on, no, this is more of an oldie, rusty one that you're worried about.
Yeah, like I said, the fucking twister ride that like I said, a bunch of guys, one might have an arm, one's got one eye. Together they make a whole human being. Just put together a ride in a parking lot. But you're going to ride that, but that's safer than Ric Flair getting into a wrestling ring.
Yeah, but I mean, again, if this was in someone's backyard, it'd be like, no, Rick, this is crazy. But part of
it was in the fairground, and they said, "You're too carny for us, Rick. Fuck off."
No, but I feel like there has to be some level of they show clips of him working out. Like, you don't think that? A little bit of okay, he can do 10 push-ups. He's been taking bumps. He must be taking bumps.
Of what?
Oh, shit. Breaking news. Oh, yeah, I got a producer back. That's breaking news.
Yeah. Producer showed up to wrap up the show.
Right? We're getting there. After Ric Flair's last match, Ric Flair will be live at CEEJAY's Medical Center for immediate heart transplant. Oh, transplant. You're going. I don't know if you can transplant a heart attack.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could.
That would work, sir.
Anybody. Woo.
No, it's wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
I will give you full A+ marks on that. That fucking cracks me up every time. The last wee woo you hear. Fucking hilarious.
I'm sorry. I know it's a controversial take. And like I said, it's not. This to me, I know everyone's viewing this probably at times of, oh, look at him just hating on Ric Flair. The man hated on AEW earlier. He just hates Ric Flair now. Are you even a wrestling fan? No. I'm trying to save this man from himself. Right? Honestly. Help me to help you. Help me to help you.
Oh, boss monster. That's funny as hell. Ouch. Got him. Ouch. Do you want to rapid fire? What we'll do is we'll rapid fire SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. We'll do it really quick, and then we'll get heading out of here tonight.
And then we'll touch it back up before the show, or
yeah, then we'll dig into it on the pre-show. Remember, folks, if you haven't been here before, we're Wrestling for Life Network. We are the fastest growing channel on YouTube. Whether that's true or not, just join in. No, but we are on fire.
No.
We are rolling.
You can't fact check that bullshit. That's 100% accurate, folks.
That's it. We are rolling through, folks. The numbers are growing by the second. We're having so much fun. We're creeping towards 500 subscribers. And yeah, this is our weekly podcast. We're here all week long for live streams of your favorite shows, and then we cover all the special events as much as we possibly can, everything from NWA to GCW and so on. And most of you out there already know this. This weekend, though, doubleheader Friday, tomorrow, SmackDown, Rampage, Saturday, SummerSlam. We are live at 6:30 p.m., so get your dinner in your belly early or bring it to the fucking show.
Yeah, bring a snack, bring it to go plate.
That's it. Bring it to go plate. And we're not looking back, folks. Then we come right back for what we were just talking about. The man of the hour is Ric Flair's. I really want to catch that Ric Flair's roast and see what's up. I'm not quite sure who all was involved, but
probably Jeff Ross.
It blows me away that, you know, the documentary plus there's other things on Fight that I don't get. Like, why are the oral sessions being sold on? What are you buying when you pay $100 for oral sessions?
Ask Vince.
That was the perfect answer. That's why we're friends, folks.
That's why we're creeping up on 500, and why, like we are the fastest growing channel on YouTube. We are here for anything professional wrestling related, whether it's WWE, AEW, NWA, GCW. Right, we've thrown on UFC before. We're going to be now even here for Jim Crockett Promotions, taking a step through time. So yeah, if you haven't already, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, because you never know when, you know, Vince might unretire, or now we'll get Tony Khan retires because he can't handle it.
But yeah, no, for sure, folks. And I can't wait for this weekend. I really, really can't wait for this weekend. I'm really optimistic. Don't do me dirty, WWE. And like I said, Triple H goes down in history as one of my favorites of all time. And literally, as far as a wrestling career goes, he's officially my favorite. The smartest man in the history of wrestling was, fuck it, I'm going to marry Vince's daughter and ride it out until I'm in charge.
Oh, yeah. The cerebral assassin. The only question is, Vince, not did we, but how many times did we consummate the marriage?
Oh, right. One of the best shit. That's still funny to me. And it was completely bullshit, but you went with it. And when I wasn't a kid. I was a teenager. I knew it was fucking wonky, but it was hilarious. Right. We also watch shows every day that we're like, that's where we won't go on this tangent right now, but that's where the non-wrestling fans drive me fucking insane. How can you watch that? It's fake. You're watching shit all the time with werewolves and vampires and dragons and fucking, you watch soap operas where the characters have been on the show for 35 years and have died 17 times. And you're going to question why I watch my show. Are you fucking kidding me? Let's be real, folks. And fair is fair. And I love it. We're here. I mean, we're here all the fucking time because we love it. But it should be a fun weekend, as Dale said. But yeah, I mean, you stretch your imagination. I was a big fan of all that. I thought it was great. But look at what the guy did. He is now in charge, at least of a big chunk of it. And the other chunk, his wife's kind of got control of. So he's done really, really well for himself. And I'm a big fan. So I'm optimistic for Saturday. And Sunday, like we said, I mean, it's going to be a fucking insane card. And if I have my way in a perfect world, we get a nice little bowed up package of Ric Flair just finishing the night with something easy peasy, a few vintage spots, a woo off, some chops, no wee woo, and just a lot of woo goodbye. And it is officially his last fucking match. That's what I want from this weekend.
I almost don't want. Yeah, wee woo. I almost don't want to say what I thought in my head when you were talking about him getting, zipped up and wrapped up and in a nice little bow and everything. Because that was something else that I was thinking of. So
dark shit.
I'm gonna leave that at that.
Listen, we wish no ill.
All right, like I said, these statements are the express written content of just Big Nick and Big Nick solely.
No, I mean, everybody has the sentiment that you have, I think, somewhere deep down. And I think
everybody has the sentiment, just no one wants to goddamn say it. And that's why this train, we're all standing on the sideline seeing two cars just come fucking crashing at each other, and no one wants to say stop.
Yeah. And I think they've done this, like, to the credit of Crockett and whoever was involved putting it together. They've legitimately done a good job. Oh, moment of the week. That's cute. They've legitimately done everything they can to insulate Flair on this one. The card's stacked, big names on it. The main event is now a tag team, so we can, Ric Flair can take a bump, roll out, and, take a nap until he's ready to go again. But Ric Flair might prove us all wrong on Sunday, and that's my hope. And I can't wait to see your face when Bray Wyatt and Ed show up together. I can't. Folks, tune in just to see Nick's face. We'll go this mode when Bray Wyatt gets here.
We'll get real.
Wee woo.
Right. Wee woo.
I've seen
animated.
You remember?
Yeah. Let's run through. Let's land this plane. Let's run through SummerSlam real quick, and then
we'll come right back to a quick moment of the week. I can think about it.
You good?
Yeah, I'm having fun. Let's go.
All right. So we have recently added the Mysterios versus Judgment Day in a no DQ match.
I think Judgment Day might win, but I'm kind of expecting some stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we could get two turns in this match, and that's why I don't know exactly which way to go, because I feel like Dom could turn on Ray. But I also feel like Edge might come back. So it's which way do they go? Who gets the half a second push? I think.
Oh, we weren't supposed to dive into this. It was rapid fire.
All right, fuck. I talk a lot. Mysterios. Miz versus Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Babyface Logan.
Yeah, Logan. Bianca versus Becky. Raw Women's Championship.
Becky.
Bianca.
I'm going on a limb.
Liv versus Ronda.
Liv.
Yes, Liv.
Correct.
Sorry.
I feel like we're on a $1,000 pyramid. Or
right, that is correct.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Right. No, it's Family Feud. I'm fucking Steve Harvey up here. The Usos versus Street Profits with Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee. So you get your appetizer of Jeff Jarrett before you get to see him beat Ric Flair.
Yeah. Who would have thought we would get Jeff Jarrett twice in the same fucking weekend?
Who would think we'd see Jeff Jarrett in WWE and no Vince?
That's fucking weird.
Yeah. That's why we had that heat wave. Hell froze over. Usos win.
Usos. I'll go Usos. Sean says Profits.
Lashley versus Theory for the U.S. title.
This was so confusing. I'm gonna go Lashley.
Yes, I'm going. God damn it! I don't want to pick Theory just because he's gotten his ass handed to him. So I'm taking Lashley. McAfee versus Corbin.
Corbin.
Really, I'm taking McAfee.
Corbin for the upset.
Maybe it keeps going. Roman.
I don't think it's done yet.
versus Brock in a last man standing match. And I guess Brucey bonus question of do we get a Austin Theory cash in?
Bonus question, no. Roman.
I couldn't agree more, sir.
There you go. Clean and clear. We got some Romans in there. Hey, Sean agrees with me on Corbin. Thank you, Sean. Corbin needs a fucking win, like a good win. Like, I really hope this Pat match is decent, but we're not going to get into it too far because we are
save that for this is why you tune in later.
Yes, we will be here for the pre-shows. We have our own little pre-show. We're going to be here, like, guys, we're going to be on stream probably, what do we got, 4 or 5. We're going to be around for probably 15 hours live minimum over the next 3 days. Nick just realized, did the math. Shit.
All right, why you gotta say it like that?
On that note, we gotta go.
Well, no, it's one of those. That's the thing. It's just it's like having your buddies hang out. You know, we pop in and off at times. You know, say one of us will take a break, the other takes control for a little while. Christ, I know I've snacked on the streams before. So it's just like having one big party.
Now I think we had the moment of the week. Do you have a moment of the week the last 7 days from now?
I mean, retiring, that would absolutely be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna.
I think that goes without saying. That's what we led the show off with.
My runner up is Jungle Boy looking at the camera and saying, "Christian Cage, you're the biggest pussy ever."
You're the biggest kitty cat ever.
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I did.
It's funny because Drew did the same thing or something similar to Sheamus, I believe, on SmackDown. It might have been on Raw and got censored.
CJ claiming that was the moment of the previous week is the retiring.
Oh, you're talking as of right now from Monday through Thursday.
Oh, I see what he's saying because we got it last Friday. I see what you did, and I know what he's thinking. We got to get on the same page with the producer here.
Well, then you go so I get a timeline.
Well, what do we have this week so far? Monday
Night Raw, which was puffed out and padded out.
What did we watch on the weekend?
We watched. Give me one quick second.
That's hilarious.
It was. That's how much we're here, folks. We watched Death Before Dishonor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, my moment of the week is the Briscoes and FTR burning it the fuck down. And we didn't even talk about that on this podcast today. We might bring it up a little more as we move forward. But, man, one of the best, if not the best tag team match I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely. To me, that is the best wrestling match the best tag team match that I've ever seen.
Dude, we got to talk to CJ about Thursday to Thursday. That was Saturday. Right. If he wants something from Monday to now, we've only had 3 days. What's the best thing that happened in the last 3 days? The most shocking
Hook winning. That would, to me, it would be Hook winning Daddy's belt. If we're
there you go.
That short a time frame, to me, it's what was the surprise match we got last night, to where Ricky Starks beat Danhausen and embarrassed him, and then lost to Hook after he still had more in the tank and issued an open challenge, got answered and accepted by Hook, which Hook won in a actually good match. And then
Ricky is a good one. But,
then Hobbs ended up turning on Ricky because Ricky sat there and cut a whole babyface promo after everything.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good segment of the week as far as everything that kind of took place in that. My moment of the week, if we're basing it on that, it's going to be Danielson's return and subsequent loss to Daniel Garcia. It's still a very big shock to me. I wasn't very complimentary of how that played out, but still a big, huge moment. I think Hook winning it, great babyface moment, huge. I just mean, like, fucking Danielson comes back and loses. I'm still shocked. I'm still like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, that was interesting. But I think it's also interesting that both kind of moments of the week that we picked were both from AEW. That we've already had Raw, we've already had NXT this week. Yeah, we pretty much know what's going to happen on SmackDown, we think, and the highlight of the week's been AEW.
Oddly enough, and like I said, where someone earlier said, "Oh, you guys are anti AEW." No, 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 no. We're just anti the bad wrestling and stupid shit.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, what happened? Can you think of anything like the Raw moment of the week, or what happened on Raw that we really should like? Oh shit! Don't forget that. Other than all the rumors.
I'm Your Poppy with
Best thing.
Rhea just manhandling Dominic Mysterio, I think is about the most that I can really think of out of Raw.
NXT we watched last night, and I legitimately can't fucking pick out one thing off the top of my head. Oh, Sean, actually, yes, Sean's got one. Your daddy isn't here anymore.
Yes, I forgot that was on Raw because Roman's on the better show, SmackDown.
That's a good call. That's a solid moment.
Yeah, that very much gets an honorable mention. Like I almost want to change my pick, but I'm committed.
The 8-man tag, nothing really. No, NXT didn't offer. I feel like something with the ladies might have been good. I mean, Gigi was on TV. That's always a high moment. Yeah, no, nothing from NXT. So yeah, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna stick with my original answer that Brian losing was my big fucking shock for me this week.
There you go.
There we go. What else we got? That's my moment. I think. What else we got here? I think we're good to go.
Yeah, I think. I can hear the music playing in the background telling me to get off stage.
Right, we're starting to get the Oscar music.
Yeah, I start to see the hook, no pun intended, coming to pull me off.
Yeah, pause. Uh-oh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head to bed. Wrap this one up for a Thursday night. Impact is rolling. If you guys are Impact fans, I know there's not many left, but I know we joke about Impact, and it's good. It's just there's not a whole lot of fans. But we will be back. We've said it several times. Tomorrow, tune in, 8 p.m. Eastern, doubleheader. We will run through SmackDown, live reaction, go-home show for SummerSlam, Rampage right after it. Then we also come back on a Saturday. Saturday night streams are off the chain. They always have been. Last weekend was my birthday. This weekend, we'll just make it feel like my birthday all over again. Or maybe we'll pretend it's Nick's. But
well, mine's coming up. But,
there we go.
Not too long. But I think we can just call this a remembrance ceremony for Ric Flair. Ooh. I was trying to think of the best PC way I could put that.
That's kind of an interesting way to go. So yeah, Saturday SummerSlam.
A night to remember, Ric Flair.
Right. We're gonna go live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, so on early. And then we're coming back on Sunday at 5:30 because whatever reason the Nashville card starts early. Probably because the fair closes at 10. Or the carnival. But yeah, folks. Ric Flair's last match Sunday night. Don't miss out. Like, subscribe, share to all your friends. You can prove to me that 10 of your friends are watching this show. We will send you a t-shirt. If you get us to 500 subscribers, we'll do something to decide on somebody getting a t-shirt. And we just want to give t-shirts away, folks. If you haven't got your t-shirt or you don't win one, go to Alt Wrestling Tees right now. Check out our limited edition shirt. We got more coming, but this is a great job by Alt Wrestling Tees. And he's got a great catalog there. A lot of cool t-shirts, a lot of funny old school ones. I want the Shark Week one he just put up. I thought it was really cool. So give our friend and our partner some love. Other than that, folks, I don't know. Nick, any final thoughts?
Catch you on the flip side.
Oh, wait. What are you doing? I wasn't done yet.
Oh, go ahead then.
No, it's fine. I don't care. We'll just see them on the flip side then. No, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, big shout out to CJ who's trapped in, but we're hoping we hope he comes back. But like my boy Nick said, I wasn't prepared for that one. That's all. We will see everybody on the flip side. Be there. Have fun. Let's go.